The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Up because of this ad I just saw. I don't know. Tom, you say something. Get me on a different topic.
What was the ad
please.
again?
I don't know if that's very advertiser friendly. You're losing the international market for that one.
What was the ad?
Exactly, I don't understand. I'm not going to say it because you hit the live button, didn't you?
I did.
I'm not going to say what it was.
Damn it.
Ugh. But it shouldn't have been under a Sonic video. Twitter should
freedom
really
of
be
speech.
fixing their ads so,
It's
that
just
shit
freedom
doesn't
of
pop
speech.
up.
The way it should be, freedom of speech.
Who wants to introduce?
You do. Usually, don't you?
Yeah, you could do it. I think I did it last time, right?
Did you do it last time? Oh, it doesn't matter. All right. Welcome everybody to Sunset City, the only Sonic podcast worth fucking listening to, I guess. With me today is, as usual, Dylan.
Hi, I'm here. Hello.
And today we've got, returning after however many episodes away, Tom Topics.
You could not live with your own failure, so you had to come back to me.
To rehearse now.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Want you guys to know that
Very nice.
before the stream starts, we always have these moments where we're like, oh shit, save it for the stream, that's funny. And then we try and do it again on the stream. And it's never as good.
Yeah, Pub, you told me
Not
to
your
do it.
fault. It's not
my
your
choice.
fault. It's
I
just-
know,
it's just
this
true.
is on me. It's on me. Everything that
all-
goes wrong falls onto my shoulders. I know.
No one's disagreeing with you on that.
Right, well, anyway, so, terms and conditions, as per the usual, folks in the chat, any and all super chats are read out at the very end of the show, and this show is brought to you, as always, by our many great patrons. And if you want to become a patron, the patron link is in the link tree in the description below. And if you're the one person listening to us on Twitch right now, hi! Hey there. So yeah, there are no patron questions for Tom Topics because he was a bit of a last-minute addition this time, a bit of a scramble this episode. But
Yeah, Dylan will be here next week, right? I'm the
Well,
fill-in.
way to make him feel like the second choice.
I mean, he is for this week. He was gonna be first choice another week though, but for this week, second choice. So Tom, here's my patron question for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
How you doing, buddy?
We're getting by. Doing all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting working a lot. Busy most of the day, so yeah.
What do you do?
Great. Well, mostly just university stuff and trying to improve my own artwork and trying to get into the industry at some point.
Which industry?
The industry of arts and crafts is very fancy.
What particular medium would you like to go into for the viewers at home?
Yeah, mum. Yeah, video games.
Have some fucking standards, all right?
No, you don't. You're not the boss of me. I don't have to.
And Dylan, how are you
What
doing
are
today,
standards?
pal?
What is that? I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's the weekend, and
Great.
so you know what that means. Stop working,
No.
start drinking. But also, Tom,
Okay.
you need to usher us in.
No,
You
no,
need to
we're not
usher us
doing
in,
this.
or else the weekend will never come again.
I'm not doing
You
this
need
here.
to do it.
You know what they say? Everybody's working for the weekend.
So,
No.
Tom, come on. You need to do the thing. Tom,
I'm not
you
doing
need
the
to do
overtime or
the
the thing.
thing. Tom,
What
You
is the
need
thing?
to do the thing. Join me, Dylan. Tom, you need to do the thing. Come on, Dylan.
Well, I don't
Tom,
want to pressure him into doing the thing if it's
You're
not good. Like, what
it's
is
a
it?
good thing. It's really good. You'd love it.
All right, Tom, do it.
Does it even know? Does it even know?
It doesn't matter. Just do it. Come on.
I don't know anything.
Awful. Ladies and gentlemen,
Come on, do it properly.
ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. Leave me alone.
That's the thing. Told you it was
so
amazing.
Mr. Krabs in chat said, "Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights."
So we got a little bit of news, slim news, but this is quite an out of the box episode. So we've got some out of the box news topics. So first thing on the agenda, I have new curtains.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw them. They're pretty good.
yeah, Dylan,
get-
you've seen
I
them,
get
haven't
the
you? But the
approval.
crowd hasn't seen them. So, gang, here are my new curtains.
Did you get a rug to go along with that, like
I
a Sonic rug to match
Nah,
the
I don't
curtains?
have a Sonic rug. A rug would be probably quite expensive.
Doesn't
I mean,
match. Doesn't match. Okay.
These were like £10 shower curtains. And they are by no means blackout I had some old curtains, the ones that came with a flap, but they were really ratty and busted. Sorry, go on.
That's right, because you sent me that picture last night, and you were like, I can't sleep because the light outside your house is shining through the curtains.
Yeah, so there's a street light outside my window that pushes light through the Sonic curtains, so when I sleep, the whole room is dark, but I just have this big illuminated Sonic the Hedgehog at my window when I go to sleep. And it's fine, I can sleep with it. I feel safe, if anything. But that's something I have to live with now, and it's okay. I think the fact I don't have blackout curtains is really good for me because I'm an insomniac. I struggle with waking up in the morning, so having a little natural sunlight in here in the morning helps me wake up. I'm not coping at all. So yeah, those are my curtains. They are sick. I should probably show them what I see every time I go to bed now as well.
He sees you when you're sleeping, and he knows when you're awake, of course.
He knows when you've been bad,
Only
Nick,
one
or
person.
good boy, so be good boy for goodness sake. I always hated that. For
Bad
good.
Nick.
He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness. It feels like the word good has been used already, you know? Like good and goodness. It should be like for heaven's
Yeah,
sake.
it doesn't even rhyme or anything.
Yeah, alright, so
I
this is
got
what...
a problem. Whoever wrote that song is gonna come back to life so we can just tear him a new one over that.
This is what I see when I try to sleep.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
It's on the stream.
Yeah, I know I'm looking at it, but
That's my curtains from the angle of which I'm trying to sleep with the street lamp shining through. My lights are off in this picture, and that is what I see if I roll onto my side.
right.
He's inescapable. I'm just trying
He's
to
a
go
guardian
sleep.
angel.
Very protective.
And yeah, audio listeners.
Great for audio listeners.
Yeah, if you're an audio listener, go fuck yourself. But okay, so let's also go on to the next news. I mean, what do you guys? Do you have anything to add to the discussion of my Sonic curtains?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Well, no.
really, nothing. Okay.
No,
Looked up some
No, I don't
insightful-
think so.
Wait, hang on. No, I don't.
Alrighty then. Well, Ben Schwartz is back in the studio recording his lines for Sonic 3, so that's some news. I don't really have anything to say about it, but like that's news. So we can
It shows
assume that
Yeah, no.
they're going in full swing now. It confirms that.
Good to
I mean,
see.
we already knew, but
the film will indeed be coming out.
Makes me wonder when we get more cast announcements. I really want to know. Like I guess you hold off on some of the announcements to like slowly keep the hype going, you know? But
No.
also just fucking tell me who Shadow is.
I don't know if... Okay, so yeah, for a while on IMDb, it has since been taken down, but for a while on IMDb it said that Cristo Fernandez would be playing Shadow. And Cristo Fernandez was one of the announced cast members. But it's since been taken down. It did say on IMDb that he was Shadow for a while. Now, if that were the case, he does speak with quite a thick accent, so you'd have a Shadow with an accent, which, you know, you can't rule out Shadow could have an accent, but if he was born in space, what's a space accent even sound like?
But what?
I don't know, I
accent
haven't
is
seen
it?
Star Trek.
Right.
Which accent has he got then?
I don't want to name it because I know whatever I say is going to be wrong.
Okay.
I mean, I'm really down for anyone. Like I think like the best person for a role is the person who wants to do it the most and the best person for it.
But what if,
You know, like
Amy
whoever walked in
Schumer...
and did the best.
What if Amy Schumer came
okay.
out and was like, I love Shadow the Hedgehog. I want to voice him more than anybody in the world.
Don't make me go back on my words so quickly.
Poked a big old hole in your argument there, didn't I?
I think we.
You did.
I think at that point we'd only need one Amy. We don't need two, and one of them to be voicing.
And I
him,
sure as hell
so-
don't want Amy Schumer voicing Amy Rose. I don't want Amy Schumer anywhere near anything.
I don't think she is going to be anywhere near anything. She can't reach it
Jesus fucking
But it's
Christ.
short.
because her career is in shambles.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
That was not the
I
response.
don't keep up with actors. I don't care.
Anyone got
Literally is.
anything to add on the Ben Schwartz thing?
No, I don't think so.
All right, we can
I
move on.
think
I mean, we've
Ben
got quite
Schwartz
a
is a good
thick,
man, and he's funny.
meaty episode anyway, so there's stuff to discuss across the board. But the next one I find real interesting. Is there's a new disc that has been named by experts as the Big Boy. So scientists at the University of Shanghai have developed a 1 petabit optical disc, and in gigabytes that is 125,000 gigabytes. So that's a lot of gigabytes. And the reason why this kind of excites me is because in especially like the recent gaming generation, like the PS5 or Xbox Series X and stuff like that, the disc for the game cannot hold the game on it anymore, you know, because the games are so fucking big that it's like you put the disc in, it's a key effectively for a download, and it downloads the game. You know how this works. And I don't like that. I think, you know, it's so much better if you just got the game on the disc. You can start playing it immediately, and then if for whatever reason the apocalyptic happens and all the servers go down, you've still at least got your game in some form. So I think this could be really good news for the gaming, but I don't know.
Physical games.
Just
Yeah,
games
for
and
the return of
upstream.
actual proper physical games, because yeah, nowadays you can buy a physical copy of a game, but you're not really getting a physical copy of the game. You're getting a disc, you know?
If they even
Bro,
do physical
It's
copies
just in
of
time for media to go to completely digital.
I can't
Look at that.
with. Yeah, it's like Best Buy, how they phased out all physical media at Best Buy now. It's now Worst Buy. But also, like, in the pictures of all the removed physical media, the funniest shit was that they still had little copies of Sonic Superstars on there.
They're soldiers. They're soldiers on a mission there, aren't they? Clearly.
I wonder if maybe,
Sonic
like,
Man
Sega...
1661 already at it. He's already at it.
Maybe Sega had, like, a mandate. It's like, it has to remain on store shelves until this date, so fucking Worst Buy are just like, okay, yeah, if you want physical media, we got Sonic Superstars. You got anything else? Nope, just Sonic Superstars.
Who wouldn't want that?
The Sonic
I mean,
Superstars
It could be getting
Superstore.
Suicide Squad. Could be worse. You could be getting Suicide Squad.
I think it looks fun, admittedly.
Yeah, I mean,
What the
might
the
be. I
game?
don't know.
Yeah, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I don't like it as a follow-up to the Arkham franchise because I hate, like, fucking Robotnik levels of hate what they have done to Arkham Batman. I hate that shit. But the game does look fun.
Well, I mean, isn't part of the thing that they've been possessed or whatever? Like, maybe is it really that bad that he's like a bitch or whatever in the game?
Right, so
It's not really him, right? Like, it's he's
spoilers-
being controlled.
spoilers for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. The Batman
Kill the
as,
Justice League.
as well as all the other superheroes, yes, they have been mind controlled by Brainiac. And obviously
by
the game is
Brainiac,
called
yeah.
Kill the Justice League, so the idea is you have to kill the Justice League, and Batman is one of the people you kill. You kill Batman in this game, and Batman dies. What I hate about this is that it is
People die when they are killed.
it is the Arkham Batman, though. This is the Batman that we've spent 4 video games with. We've got to know him. He's an icon in gaming in his own right. This is a very specific version of Batman right here. One that anyone that has played the Arkham games has spent hours upon hours with and seen his story unfold. And his story ends with him getting possessed, killing his son, and getting iced in the face by Harley Quinn.
Oh, that hurts a little bit, actually. I didn't know he did that. Okay, wait, how does he get possessed, though? Like, how does that work? Is it something that you think Arkham Batman could have realistically prevented?
I don't think it's something he could have realistically prevented. It's one of those things where I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I just hate that this is what they decided to do. Like,
Yeah, they should have treated it with more, like, respect.
Yeah, this
what you
character matters to people. Like, this character has a very storied legacy. For me, he's like a childhood hero. It would be like if they released a Super Smash Brothers game where Sonic gets crippled in a wheelchair, kills Tails, and then gets shot in the face by, I don't know, Infinite.
What?
And they say that's canon,
that
and
all
that's
Smash
how his
fans
story
want that.
ends. Like,
Yeah, you'd say that, but Smash fans would unironically want that. So
as
yeah.
part of a non-canon Smash thing, fair enough, but the problem is they made it Arkham canon, you know?
If it wasn't canon, like, it should have just been a different continuity.
Yeah,
because
if
like
it
I mean,
wasn't
it's not
canon.
we haven't done Evil Justice League and these things before.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no reason to say, hey, this is an Arkham game, because like I mean, the most recent Suicide Squad movie did really well. So I feel like they didn't really need to piggyback off that.
Well, the latest
You know, like-
Suicide Squad movie actually flopped, but it had a good critical reception.
Did it?
Yeah, sadly it flopped.
Oh, I thought it was.
It's partly down to things like it's not down to the quality of the film, put it that way. But there was things like the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a streaming exclusive, etc.
That's true.
So sadly, yeah, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which I thought was a phenomenal film, completely flopped.
I liked it a lot.
It's one of those things.
Dude, you get
though,
Peter
where...
Capaldi into any movie, and I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, 100%.
It's just how it is.
Peter Capaldi as the Thinker was a scene stealer. Did you ever see Peacemaker as well?
No, I didn't get to watch it. It was on like HBO Max or something, right? I didn't have it.
If you can find like a piracy site or a Blu-ray or something, I highly recommend it because it's a fantastic show and it is pretty much a sequel to James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Yeah, my brother said he liked it a lot.
Yeah, like it's fantastic. I think, you know, it's one of those things where I do find it weird how persistent DC and Warner Brothers are with the Suicide Squad brand. Like, it's when Suicide Squad 2016 was first announced, I remember there was a lot of people asking, like, who really asked for this? And it was kind of just treated as, this is our Guardians of the Galaxy. And I hated the 2016 Suicide Squad film. That is, like, on my top 5 worst films of all time.
I could talk about that movie for so long. I saw it one time with my family, and we walked out. My family was like, wow, that was pretty good. I liked it. And I was, like, seething.
Yeah.
I was like, that was fucking awful. Like, the writing was terrible. The acting was awful. Like, nothing made sense. Like, you remember the part where, like, they go to the bar and they hang out for 12 minutes, and then right after that, the big fire guy sacrifices himself saying, I already lost one family. I'm not going to lose another one. And I'm like, you guys hate each other. Like, you guys aren't even getting along yet.
Yeah, even if that wasn't the case, like, they haven't been developed enough side by side or spent enough in-universe time together. And, I mean, do any of you care about spoilers for Madame Web?
No.
No, I saw Morbius. I'm not falling for that Sony trap again.
Spoilers for Madame Web. They do the same fucking thing in that movie, where, like, these characters have no reason to kind of consider each other family, and have spent probably, like, the best part of, I guess, 48 hours together or something, and at the end, like, Madame Web is in the hospital, and she's got these Spider-Girl people by her side, and the doctor's just like, visitations are for family only, so if anyone isn't immediate family here, please leave. And Madame Web's like, no, they are my family. It's
it's not earned.
It's not earned.
So
It's like a...
The thing is, with Madame Web, I can laugh at it much more than I can with Suicide Squad 2016.
Oh, God. Yeah, that movie was not funny. It wasn't, like, good in any way.
It was
the only
boring
thing
as
that I
well.
thought was a little bit compelling was the whole, what's the guy's name? Rick something?
Rick Flag?
Rick Flag? Like, I sort of liked that whole deal where he was... Because it's his wife or something that turns into the witch, right?
Yes. And then, oh my god, in the James Gunn one, he's the MVP of the fucking film.
I forgot he was in the other one.
Dude, like the bit where like Peacemaker shoots him and his last words are like, Peacemaker, what a joke, and stuff.
That's right!
It's so awesome.
Yeah, no, I liked him a lot, and I think the conflict where he was like, he's gotta take down someone he loves and cares about, like, that's a really sad plot point, but the rest of the movie is just fucking garbage, so it doesn't matter.
I thought probably the least boring part of Suicide Squad 2016 was like the Joker Harley origin, and it's funny because it's the worst version of it that I could imagine.
I like that they cut all the Joker stuff out of it because Jared Leto is terrible.
He did suck as the Joker. I liked him a bit better in the Snyder Cut, but marginally. I still didn't come away from it going, oh wow, what a revelation as the Joker.
He was hardly in it. He was in it for like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of like, okay, one last hurrah for all these parts of the universe that we've abandoned. And I like the fact he was there, but I didn't really like him in it.
Maybe we should have like a superhero podcast.
Dude, I'd be so game. It's something that I was pushing for fucking decades on this show. So I'd be...
Figure it out.
I'd be so game for like a Sunset City comic podcast or something. However, we do have to kind of get kind of on topic, and it's funny because this week's topic isn't really Sonic as such. We're doing kind of something that exists in the Sonic climate, but isn't really Sonic as such. It's stuff that's kind of gone on to form its own legs and start running. So, that brings us to our final piece of news, which segues us into our main topic for today. So Evening Star Entertainment, aka the Mania team, they have gone on to make, I think, is it their first release as a studio?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the first.
So, first off, that's quite big, like, because, you know, these guys were brought on as, you know, like, kind of fans of the Sonic franchise that were also game developers, and they went on to make Sonic Mania, which was, of course, a big smash hit, a feat in retro game development and stuff like that. And we've kind of seen what happens when they're taken out of the equation for a 2D Sonic game with Sonic Superstars recently, which I still insist isn't bad, but I still kind of prefer it to Mania on its foundational level, but I won't deny the Mania team did a much, much better job with what they had to do than what Arzest and Sonic team put together for Sonic Superstars. And now we kind of have the reason why they didn't work on Sonic Superstars was partly because they were working on their first thing of their very own, which is Penny's Big Breakaway. And it's here. It's out. They released it early. And Dylan, you've played a little bit, and Tom, you haven't, have you?
I'm waiting to get enough money to play it.
Good.
Just waiting for that day.
I get you. Yeah, I almost didn't buy it the other day because I was like, I don't have any income right now. But then I was like, okay, my birthday's coming up, so hopefully that was it'll make some money for that. But like, I've played maybe 3 or 4 levels currently. I'm not, you know, I can't speak as like, hey, here's how the whole game is. But this game, it's a very interesting platformer. Like, I know we've set up this episode as like a, hey, here's some indie games, and you know, we'll talk about fan games as well that are semi-Sonic related. I think everybody sort of expected Penny to take a lot more from Sonic than it ended up doing. Like, I know I'm not super far in, but like, it definitely feels like its own thing. I don't really think I've played a game before that really feels like Penny's Big Breakaway, and in a good way. In a good way. I mean, like, it controls very well, and I'm still sort of, when I play a game, I like to learn the controls and sort of get used to how it feels before I really start going ham on the levels. So I'm still kind of in that learning segment. But so far, it's been like really unique and fun. I've been very into it.
Also, just a heads up for anyone worried, we're not discussing spoilers for Penny's Big Breakaway. None of us are far into the game enough to even say any spoilers. I've gotten past the second boss, and I kind of stopped there for the time being. But so far, I'm really enjoying the game. I mean, Tom, what do you know about Penny's Big Breakaway so far?
I know that it uses momentum. It's a heavily focused momentum-based platformer, which I like the look of right off the bat.
Kind of
looks
yes,
like
kind of no, actually. Like, in that, everything involves physics to it, but it's not momentum in... I mean, it has momentum in there, but that's not, like... I don't know, Dylan, would you call it, like, a momentum-based platformer?
I think the way it's listed is a kinetic-based platformer, and I am too stupid to know what specifically that means.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there is momentum involved, because you do have things like rolling down hills to gain speed and do, you know, like, longer jumps. And you can also... I mean, like, there are these things, like, you run into these little, like, spinny things, and then they shoot you off at really high speed, so, like, there is an element of, like, keeping that speed.
Yeah.
And, you know, it involves momentum. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that's the entire thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'd say that is one aspect of the game. Because, like, your basic floor traversal is just basic floor traversal, basically. But you do have, like... So, Penny's whole gimmick is she's got this yo-yo, and it's got all these different abilities. All the different abilities pertain to the yo-yo. It's quite interesting in that, like, if Sonic was like, what if we based a platforming game around a pinball... what Evening Star have done is kind of asked, like, what if we made a platforming game based around a yo-yo? What's all the different things a yo-yo can do? For starters, it's on a string, so we can factor in the string into kind of this, and, like, a yo-yo can roll, so rolling is indeed a factor of the game. But, like, yeah, you can kind of hop on your little yo-yo thing and use that to go down terrains, but it's something you can only really use as part of a pre-existing flow state, effectively. And the way this game's traversal works is really interesting, because it is effectively like a combat combo flow system in a way, except that's now the traversal element. I saw a video of one of the Penny's Big Breakaway developers playing the first level in a single combo, where they're basically constantly doing these tricks with their yo-yo all the way to the very end of the stage. But, so yes, you have got things like rolling, but you've also got things like you can use the right analog stick to whirl your yo-yo around. You can swing from your yo-yo. Only the once, though. You can't use, like, a web swing mechanic. And you can kind of throw the yo-yo and then kind of yank yourself up to it, so it's kind of a bit like a kind of an air dash, but a bit more physics-based. So it's quite interesting in that, like, it's a game that isn't like Sonic. It uses some of the philosophies of Sonic, but I would say that it's not like Sonic. If you're playing this expecting, you know, the new Sonic Mania, that's not what you're getting. You're getting a game that stands on its own 2 feet. And I think
Very unique, yeah.
That was a really good move, because Evening Star, because their beginnings effectively came from Sonic Mania, Sonic is always going to be on the table of conversation with anything they release now, and I hope that's something that they've kind of accepted, because I can understand why that might actually get quite annoying. But it's a game where I would say it demonstrates a great understanding of all the things that make a good Sonic game so good, while also being a very different thing. It's like, you can tell this game has come from people that nailed the Sonic formula, and now they're doing something very different, you know?
Yeah. And it's still super... Sorry, Tom, you go on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, sorry, I keep talking over you. I don't mean to. I'm just...
Okay, it's fine. I was going to say, from what I've seen, it looks like it's very inspired by Mario Odyssey in terms of its platforming mechanics with Cappy and everything, that let you use it to then traverse and do combos and do damage and all that sort of thing. So, and with the style and everything, it looks like it's just a mix of all good things about modern platformers condensed into a little good package. That's what it gives off the impression to me, like, at least. I don't know if that's actually accurate to what the game is actually like, but...
Don't let me...
That's a very good comparison,
yeah,
honestly, from what I remember. Like, Mario Odyssey, I played that whole thing, and it does sort of have a similar flow, because, like, Mario doesn't go fast most of the time, and neither does Penny, until you start getting into that flow state that, like, has been mentioned a few times now. Once you are, you know, zipping around, you kind of see the character... Just like, you kind of have to earn it in both of the games, and I think that's a much better comparison to anything Sonic related.
There's a learning curve to it for definite as well, and I would say that Penny's Big Breakaway even has quite a steep learning curve to it, because there's a lot of different abilities, and you kind of learn to chain them together, and that's what gets you into that kind of flow state. But the first time you pick up the game and start playing through some levels, you're gonna look kind of like an idiot as you're playing it, and you're trying to work all these things out. But then, like, there are times when it's like, you've just chained a few things together. It's like, ooh, okay, that feels good. Like, and that happened to me a few times, and gradually I got better and better at it. But it's also a game that requires you to be quite sure-footed to pull it off. I find if you pussyfoot and tiptoe and you're a bit timid, you're not really going to pull things off. Like, one of the best examples of this can be when you, at the end of each stage, there's this little stage, a little podium thing where you can do this busking activity, which is effectively a quick time event, but it's got these tiers to it, and like the top tier is just kind of this very narrow platform, and you ideally want to get on that one, but I found the more hesitant I was, the less I would ever actually land on that platform. Whereas, like, kind of the less hesitant you are, the more confident you are in the abilities you have in this game, the better you'll do, and that is something that is also quite intrinsic to, like, Sonic philosophy as well. But in the thing with Cappy is I do feel much more sure of the abilities of this yo-yo than I did Cappy. Like, don't let me talk down Super Mario Odyssey. The game is a masterpiece 10 out of 10 game in my opinion. But I think as far as like the yo-yo controls go versus the Cappy controls, I think the yo-yo is honestly more, I don't know, reliable? Is that the word I'm looking for?
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think, yeah.
Hey, what do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, reliable works. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All of this sounds like just good game design, full stop. Because I met like other games in completely different genres, like Doom Eternal. If you want to be good at the game, you need to take risks. Use the meat hook and your frozen grenade to actually win and beat the demons. In Devil May Cry 5, you need to like go all in, know the combos of your sword and gun attacks, and if you're using V, all your animal and demon attacks there to really go all in and win all that sort of stuff. So that's just good game design in general. It doesn't necessarily have to always relate back to Mario or platformers and Sonic and all that stuff. That's just good core design. If you go further, you'll get rewarded.
Something that has, like, a few people have come to me and said they are quite hesitant about buying the game right now because it's quite buggy. And so the thing is, I haven't experienced them myself, and I don't want to talk down anyone's experience with this game. The bugs do exist. I have seen videos of people encountering some collision problems here and there. And that, it can happen. It's not good. It's something that should probably be worked on. But it's not something I have experienced myself. So I can only kind of conclude that either I am incredibly lucky, or maybe these are things you kind of have to be in the right place for, or something along those lines. But the thing that makes me...
Oh, yeah, you know what?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I did hear someone in my Discord, one of my friends, said that she 100%ed the game, and there were a handful of, like, bad bugs. So I'm not sure, like, she didn't elaborate on what that was, but, you know, she didn't say they were small bugs. She said bad bugs. So, you know, there must be some stuff out there. I haven't gotten to anything like that yet, but
apparently, like,
something to be aware of, I guess.
Some of the street lamps, the collision's not properly done, so you can fall through the floor if you get too close to the street lamps. There's apparently stuff like that, but again, I haven't experienced it myself, so I can't speak on it, but like, I'm not going to deny that people have had that. Something that is giving me secondhand embarrassment, though, is Sonic fans using this as a gotcha. I've seen some people be like, oh, just blame Sega. Oh, wait. And it's like, oh, Sonic Frontiers is so buggy, but look at this. Like, this is what the Mania team did. Guys, you haven't played it, because the game is a million times more polished than Sonic Frontiers or Sonic Superstars. And at the end of the day, like, it's a £25 release, where those games...
Yeah, it's not even full price.
Yeah, those are full-price games. Now, it doesn't make it okay, like, but it's one of those things where this is still way more polished than your average AAA release these days. Like, I've run into way less bugs with this game than I did Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5 or any of the recent Sonic games or anything like that. This is still a much more polished title than, you know, what we've kind of come to expect from a lot of major releases. And yeah, it makes me kind of embarrassed to see Sonic fans trying to use this as a gotcha. It's like, guys, stop it. Just stop.
And it's also, one thing I wanted to mention is the art style, it's very unique and fun, and I think a lot of the cinematics and stuff, I was shocked when I booted it up, because, like, they run so buttery smooth that I thought something was wrong with my eyes. Like, it was running so smoothly. Like, it's got this very interesting, like, I was trying to place what it reminded me of. It almost feels like some kind of, like, classic Nickelodeon cartoon or something. Like, with how everything is so, like, interestingly stylized.
I agree.
I mean, it's just very... I'm playing it on PC, so obviously it's going to be better than consoles, I guess.
Like, well,
it's very impressive. I'm super impressed with a lot of that game so far.
I'm also really impressed with how it runs on Switch as well. It runs beautifully on Switch too. Like, this is probably one of the better running Switch games that I've played. And yeah, it's an art style that's very distinct, very unique, quite intricate in places, yet it's one that translates really well across all generations. Because it's one of those things where its style doesn't require a huge deal of graphical fidelity, but its style is also
very... It's a little
like
Wind Waker.
Yeah, it's also a very effective style. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, this is where Sonic can take some notes from a game like this, is if you're releasing your game on Switch, and it absolutely has to release on Switch, then lean into a style that can translate to the Switch. Don't do the whole realism thing that they did in Sonic Breath of the Frontiers. Yeah, it's a very good-looking game overall. It's very enjoyable so far. A reliably good time. Haven't had any performance issues. I did see, and I'm not speaking against the person that pointed this out, but I did see a person post a video of an instance of pop-in. Just where there's some platforms that pop in, depending on what angle you're looking at it from. And again, I've seen the Sonic fans all clowning and be like, "Oh, so Frontiers
that's in
is
every
so
game."
bad." But
really, at this point, you know,
but
like
you have to look for the pop in this one. You know, like Frontiers, you don't have to look
not
for
distracting.
it. Yeah, like it's an active immersion breaker in Sonic Frontiers, and again, $60 price tag, like a world of difference. Like I do not mind a teeny bit of pop-in if it's like literally you gotta point it out to me. That's fine. That is part of it. Things load in, they load out. It happens. Tiny little bit of pop-in, fine. Frontiers pop-in's fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, like Webster just said, it's egregious.
Yeah.
It's like that game. I know we've been said to death, but like if you're gonna be like semantic about it, like if you have to look and find the pop-in, you have to be like, look there. Look, you sound like the teacher from The Incredibles.
Yes.
Look there. See, he moved. There's no tack there, and now there is.
Literally.
Like, but in Sonic Frontiers, it's like you see the guy walk over and put the tack on the chair.
Yeah. It's literally, it's not even Dash doing it. It's literally the Turtle Man, the slowest man alive, putting the tack on the teacher's chair. And it's a big fucking tack.
Dude.
Huge.
Dude, that's more for the superhero podcast. Imagine if in The Incredibles there was someone named Turtle Man and he couldn't hide his powers because he's just a turtle.
Well, fun fact.
Wears a big shell.
In the very first issue of The Flash to feature Barry Allen as The Flash's archenemy is, I shit you not, the Turtle Man.
Turtle Man.
The Turtle Man. And his whole thing is that he's the slowest man alive.
That's me.
One of the things he does is get in a speedboat at the end.
A speedboat. Turtle Man, New Earth, DC database. Why would you? I don't understand how that would be a problem for the Flash. Can he make other people slow? Like, can he like slow you down?
Not in the one I read, but it could easily. I suppose it could be like, oh, this man's committing crimes. Send out all the police cars you got, and the police cars all go so fast that they arrive way too early, and he just wasted a load of taxpayers' dollars.
Early.
Getting all these police cars out for no reason.
I didn't get there yet. I haven't robbed the bank yet.
He'll rob the bank when it's shut, you know?
Oh, you know, did they adapt it? I don't want to go too much into superheroes again, but I think they adapted this character for the CW Flash.
No way. I gotta look this up.
I think.
CW
It's Russell
Flash.
Colossus. Nicknamed the Turtle by Cisco Ramon. It might not be the same guy, but like it's a similar idea, I guess.
mean, to be fair, yeah, he was later nicknamed the Turtle in later issues. Again, I haven't read much Flash, but I kind of started reading the Barry Allen run, like, from its origins. And, yeah, the Turtle Man.
It's just so funny to me that they were like, who's a good villain for the fastest man alive?
Interestingly enough, as well, like,
yes.
the Jay Garrick version of the Flash in that wasn't another universe thing. He was literally just a comic book character in universe. And the Flash was just, well, Barry was just like, okay, I got super speed powers. I will be the real Flash, basically.
I didn't know that. I thought Jay Garrick, like, shows up. Isn't he real eventually? Or
Yeah, it's just in that very early run. Things are a little different.
oh, in the early one. Okay.
Yeah.
And they got Infinite Earths, so I guess that means he just exists somewhere.
Yeah, DC's continuity is weird. The DC podcast for the pre-New 52 and post-New 52 age.
I don't want to be a DC-specific podcast. I would love to just do general, like, superheroes or something. I think that'd be fun.
We can figure something
We'll
out.
talk about it.
We can expand.
Yeah.
We can expand.
Yeah, why not?
But
The main expansion.
Todd,
Yes.
you have anything to say?
Not about the Flash.
Damn.
What about the turtle man?
He sounds cool. He sounds very cool.
I think it
He
would be
sounds-
funny if Reverse Flash ran everywhere in reverse.
He ran backwards.
Yeah, yeah. And every
He
time
would
he
be
drives
so
a car,
evil.
it's just always in reverse.
Like, I love it. He's so much of a threat, but that would make him so funny.
Hey, look where you're going,
He
buddy.
runs on his hands or something. He does a handstand and runs.
So, Dylan, do you want to do PowerPoint party?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to do a PowerPoint. This one is, this is a bit more on topic today. I didn't go crazy off the rails. I actually just, we said we were going to talk about Sonic. So it's not like spiritual success. I guess spiritual successors and fan games, and I know a lot about fan games, so I've just thrown up a document of a couple fan games that I like, and I wanted to just shout out, I guess, while we have a minute.
Well, okay, so, Tom, what you're going to want is, yeah, so you're just going to want to pay attention to the Discord. Dylan, do you have music for this PowerPoint party?
I do. I'm not sure why it didn't work the last time, but I think I could just play it in my browser, and you should be able to hear it on stream.
Also, yes, Webster, we are doing PowerPoint party now.
PowerPoint party. Last week I was, like, busy. This week I was busy, but then some of the stuff I was supposed to do got canceled, so
We've done
had more time.
PowerPoint parties so far, and it's not a PowerPoint party in the sense that you kind of said, where it's kind of like a contest. This is just Dylan makes a PowerPoint for us to observe.
Yeah, I'm trying to, my philosophy with this is I'm making a PowerPoint as if I was in, like, elementary school. And I think it's really funny and fun.
So, Tom, be ready to pay attention to this.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Alright, oh yeah, I gotta stream my screen. Let's see.
Okay. Right. Let me just quickly throw this up on. Oh.
Alright, can you see
did
this?
it. Hang
Very
on.
wonderful.
Wait a sec.
Okay.
Wait, where's the window? Hang on, sorry, it's just
Technical difficulties?
No, we got it. We got it. We're here.
Yeah.
Good. All right,
Alright,
good.
can you hear the music?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, welcome. Sonic fan games was the topic this week. Very cool.
I have a question.
This is not funny. Don't you know questions at the end? Alright, what's your question? That's fine. What's your question?
I don't have a question anymore.
Okay. Alright, so this isn't supposed to be, like, funny, but, next week will probably be more funny.
I mean, that's quite funny.
Just kidding. Okay.
He makes a noise.
Alright, for real now.
Oh.
So the first thing that came to mind, especially because of recent events, is Sonic GT. This one was a super impressive game that started out adapting levels like Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2, and it makes it this grandiose, giant 3D level. And they there expanded into some unique zones, and there might have been maybe like another remake or something in there. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But the speed in this one, incredible. Like, a lot of momentum. You're rolling down hills, you're rolling up walls and around things. I remember they even added bosses and, like, multiple playable characters. Like, I think you play Sonic, Shadow, Classic Sonic, and Mighty? And Classic Sonic I don't think is part of the main story or anything. I think he's like a bonus. But it's very... Oh, Ray's in there too, and I think he's also very fun. I'm just also realizing I forgot to add Sonic Encore to this. Sonic Encore is another 3D Sonic fan game that is very good. In the same sort of vein as this, reinterprets old zones into 3D like Oil Ocean, Mystic Cave Zone. Tons of playable characters. Both of them very good time. But this one, specifically I wanted to mention it because the people who made this went on to make Rollin' Rascal, which is a game that is on Kickstarter right now, and it's got a demo you can play. You can check it out on Steam. It's very much an evolution of Sonic GT, and I know some people are going to be like, don't compare it to Sonic. Shut up. It literally came from a Sonic fan game dev. Like, shut up. But anyway, it's its own thing now. It is a very fun, momentum-based platformer with gorgeous levels, and honestly, it's got controls to die for. I think it is one of the best controlling games I've played in a while. I also made a video of this that released at 3 o'clock today, so same time the podcast started. So if you want to see that, you can check out my channel at some point if you want. But very good game, and I think everyone should check it out. Definitely go check it out on Steam. It's free. Download it right now. Next.
Is that a choice? Do we have a choice?
No, it's not a choice. You have to play it.
Oh.
Did you say it's
So-
free?
The demo is free, yeah. It's the game. The game is not finished yet. It's on Kickstarter. Not this one. This is. No, go back. All right.
This is really good because there's a lot of like
Kickstarter.
things
It's
I
on
had
Steam.
to look at for the PIS document so that I could put like what these developers had previously made fan game wise, and you've done this for me. This makes things very easy.
Yep. Oh, Sonic World DX is another really great one. Sorry, I was kind of scrambling at one point. I forgot to add some stuff. Sonic World DX, another very good fan game. 3D levels, that kind of stuff. But anyway, next up, one of my personal favorites of all time. Sonic Robo Blast 2, which is a fan game that has 20 plus years of development behind it. Which is fucking insane to me. Like, Pop, how old are you?
I'm older than you.
No, you're not.
I'm 27.
Are you?
Yes.
Really? I thought you were younger than me for some reason.
I mean, I think I'm marginally younger than you.
Okay, you know what? Probably not longer than Pup's been alive then.
What's your date of
But,
birth?
it's 3/5/96.
3/5/96. Wait, so 3 is in March, right?
March, yeah, the third
Wait,
one.
shit, you had a birthday recently.
No, March hasn't happened yet.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right. Okay, alright, good.
Pup's living in another timeline.
I did.
But,
forget.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I was
That
April.
point doesn't stand, but, like, I was probably 7 years old when this released for the first time, and I wouldn't learn about it until, probably, like, 17 years later.
I remember playing
But
this on
it is
iPhone
one of
4.
the coolest, one of the most improved fan games. Of course, with 20 years, of course it's going to improve. It is incredible. You've got, I think, 6 playable characters in the base game, and infinite modding potential. Like, literally, some of the best mods I've ever seen for any game. It's amazing. And it's also co-op online multiplayer, and it's got a battle mode. You can do, like, capture the flag and battle stuff like that. If you haven't played this game, this one's free because it's a fan game. Check this one out especially, because God, are you missing out if you've not played this one. And I think it also just had a big update recently that, like, overhauled a few levels, probably adding a bunch of stuff. Not sure if it's out yet, but that's on the horizon.
Final
Yeah, you know me, I like mods, I like fan games. This is both. It's very good.
update.
It's also a mod of the Doom engine. You know Doom?
Yeah, dude, I've
The
been
shooting
playing.
game?
I've been playing the OG Doom on Game Pass because I figured I'm approaching my 30s, and every man in his 30s loves Doom. So I probably
It's,
want to play Doom.
It's built off of that engine. It's a heavily modified Doom engine.
I thought
which
so
is
because like
impressive.
I love Sonic Robo Blast 2 and think it's a feat of engineering. At the same time, I found the camera betrayed me a few times, especially in one of the boss fights.
Yeah, I think if it, like, not zoomed in, I think if it locked on the boss, it might be a little better. But, I
Yeah.
mean, it's very small complaints. This game's unreasonably good.
Big complaints in my
But anyway, so I didn't have anything else that they made, because I'm not sure if they have, but move on to more fan games. You guys probably already know these, the Lake Feppard Sonic games. There are 3, I think. We have Sonic Before, After the sequel, and Chrono Adventure, which I didn't play, because I just didn't get around to it. Wait, someone said we are not back.
Okay, so all right, we're now back. They can hear us again.
All right, now we're back for real?
Yeah, we're back for realsies. That was a really
Okay,
inopportune
all right.
time for my inopportune time for my internet to go out. Sorry about that, everybody.
It's a
Yeah.
small annoyance, but I guess we're back. So, I don't know how much you heard, but I don't think there's a lot to say about these ones, because I feel like these are very popular fan games that everyone already knows about, and of course, we know a lot about this, because Spark the Electric Jester was spawned after these games, and there are 3 games in that series now. Spark started out as a 2D platformer, sort of like Sonic. It's also got almost like a mix of Kirby in there because you gather new powers and you can use... It's like there's some like elemental abilities you get, like... I think there's like electric attacks, which, makes sense with the name. There are... there's vehicles you can ride, I think there's like a... There's a lot in there. I didn't play through the first one, but I have played the other two. And the other two, Spark 2 and 3, are 3D platformers that are very much in the vein of like Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure 2 specifically, I would say. They've got some very interesting story stuff going on. I like a lot of the characters that are involved. And the designs are really fun. Like, I feel like there are not a lot of designs out there that look like this. Spark 3 also is a recent release. I think it came out last year sometime. And it is honestly kind of a masterpiece. Like, there are so many quality of life things in that game to make it feel better. Like, Spark 2 had some stuff, like some people complained about combat. This game, you can, I think there's difficulty sliders for multiple aspects of the game. So you can change the platforming difficulty and the combat difficulty interchangeably, which I think is really nice. Yeah, no, those are pretty good. Please play those. Those are on Steam, and I think they're on Xbox as well. Or at least, maybe 2 and 3 are. The chat is not moving. Are you sure we're back?
Yeah,
we're back.
We're good? Okay.
Well, which cat are you looking at?
I was on the same chat as before. Is there another chat window now?
There's another stream open.
You might just need to refresh it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get that.
Sure. Everybody, just twiddle your thumbs for a minute.
Hang in there. You can see the next game right there.
You can read the slide. If you're not an audio listener, that is.
Well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it here. Here it is. Yeah, we are so back.
Always give it.
Ball Deluxe.
Alright, I've got it back. Okay, sorry. So, Sonic Ball Deluxe is a game that I love a lot. This game is a Mario and Sonic crossover, and it's not what you might think. It actually starts interpreting Mario levels, but has, I would say, a bit more focus on the speed of Sonic. Like, a lot of the characters in here move faster. Like, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and there's a lot of playable characters. You got Mario, Luigi, I think Wario, Bowser, Mecha Sonic, and this also has a pretty big modding scene, which is neat. Like, you can play as a lot of different characters, you can go on Game Banana, find stuff like that. Let's see.
Yeah.
It is also actively still being updated, because I think the Ball Deluxe title is actually rather recent, and Wario might actually be newer. But that's a really fun one. I recommend this one. Like, it controls really well, and I think each character has a fun set of abilities to try and get through the levels with. But yeah, and this also leads into just fun fact. Back when I made the Magnificent Motobug on my channel, the original version, I actually used Sonic Ball Deluxe, or not the Deluxe, but I used the Sonic Ball game to make custom characters, put them on a green screen, and that's how I got away with not animating a single thing for that whole animated video. So,
wait, you could just put them on a green screen in the game?
Well, I mean, I replaced the graphics in the game, so it was a green screen, and then I made little, basically puppets out of Motobug, Buzz Bomber, sprites, stuff like that. And then every animation that was in that original video was just me moving around in the game in, like, a way that makes sense for the video. So that was kind of fun. Like, I didn't want to learn how to animate, and I feel like I successfully pulled that off.
Wait a minute.
But also...
You got a friend called Pip who has a channel?
Yeah.
Sounds like an enemy.
That was funny,
to me.
because I wrote Pup earlier, and now Pip's here. But also, of note, if you didn't know, there is a Magnificent Motobug reboot on my friend Pip Productions channels, and that one is actually animated proper. That one is an animated series that is still in production. Working on episode 2 right now. I've seen a lot of the scenes for it so far. It's still, let's see, how, like, maybe halfway done? But, you know, it takes a long time because he's the only one animating it. But anyway, you could check that out if you want. You can just type in Magnificent Motobug on YouTube and you'll find it. Just look for Pip Productions. Worth it, I think.
Not Channel Pip.
More on that later.
Just so we all know.
Channel Pip. not Channel Pup. Pip Productions. Channel Pip. That's my
Not
buddy
Pimp
Pip. He
Productions
does
either.
good work.
Pip.
But that was a little off track there. Sorry. Anyway, next. The end.
From Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's over.
Oh man.
Well, bravo.
That's all. That's all I got.
Well,
Oh yeah, thanks for sending the link. You can find that video I was talking about there. I didn't mean to advertise, but I just thought it was a nice fun fact, because that fan game, Sonic Ball Deluxe, has been, I don't know, it's like a personal favorite, and I've got some fun history with it. Some of my favorite videos that I've made, so cool shit. And that's PowerPoint Party.
I'm gonna put out a post on the Sunset City page to let people know we're back, because that internet outage has halved our live audience. So
It was, yeah, it's probably a rough moment.
thank
for,
you for
right
that,
in the middle
Now
of a
TV.
podcast. Yeah, but that's what I've got for PowerPoint Party. Definitely more in depth than the previous ones because I was serious this time.
Yeah.
But I hope you enjoyed, and maybe next week we'll see more.
Hell yeah, fucking that was a good PowerPoint party. That one was really in depth and it answered a lot of questions that I kind of needed for the episode
Thanks.
ahead.
See, if it's something I know, it's fan games. I've been known to play a fan game or two here and there.
Tom, have you played any fan games?
Fan games? Not really, no. I don't really play a lot of fan game stuff. It's not really...
Are you still streaming my screen?
No,
Sorry, I don't mean to... No? Okay.
don't worry.
No, fan game stuff isn't really my area of expertise, I'd say. Like, I don't know an awful lot about it. I've recognized, I think, almost every single game in your presentation, though. So I guess that's a good sign that I know about all of them.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should try them at some point. It's just sometimes it's hard because some of the games on there, especially Spark, I think Spark is the only one that I can actually genuinely say, okay, yeah, this is a bit of a problem, was how the community, I do not like their attitude towards it because they weaponize the fact that Spark is good and make it their entire personality. Like, I'm glad that other games don't do that. Like, as far as I can tell, obviously it's mostly the Sonic side that is the problem when it comes to Penny. But with Spark specifically, I saw so many people just being vitriolic and just like, we're better because we're playing this game. That's something.
Really?
Yeah, I remember when it came out, like every person that was playing it was like using it to weaponize against this main series. And it really turned me off of the game. But I saw that, I was like, Jesus Christ, is this what all people that play this game like? And I haven't played it since because of that. Like, the community.
That's really unfortunate.
The community behind the game was awful, absolutely awful. And I'm glad that it's the only game that this happened to, like, really badly. But Spark was just really bad that it just turned me off of trying the game out. I'll probably try it at some point. Like,
Yeah, I recommend the third one a lot. It's got like, I think I gave enough of a spiel earlier, but the second one, it's still pretty good. I enjoyed that one a lot. And the third one, I think, is like, he took everything that people didn't like about the second one and fixed it, from what I've seen.
So I've played the first two Spark games. Well, I haven't completed the second one yet. Actually, I haven't completed the first one yet, to be honest. I got to the final Fark boss fight, and after all, I was like, fuck this. And then I kind of rage quit and haven't picked up since.
The final boss is really funny in that game, but also, I just like to... I guess I didn't mention this well in the PowerPoint, but Spark 2 especially... Like, you get to the first boss or whatever after doing these fun platforming sections, and you need to figure out, like, how the combat works. It involves a lot of parrying, and I think people didn't love that, because it's very easy to just parry and let the guy attack you and then just attack them. But the music track that plays during boss fights, holy shit, is it cool. Like, it is, like, the epitome of, like...
It's like Crush
like,
40.
rock and roll, like, you're kicking ass. Yeah, it's so good. And then I think the final battle has a new song, too.
In regard to kind of the community aspect, I haven't really seen so much of the superiority complex stuff. But I can safely say
That's mostly because it's died down. Because when the game first released, like, it was terrible. It was really bad with how much people were pushing that this would be the killer of the game. And if you still are a fan of Sonic, then you're stupid. Then you're stupid. You need to play this right now.
yeah, that shit's ridiculous.
It was really bad. It was really
okay, so
bad
it was
overall.
like people weaponizing it against Sonic, and I guess at that point Sonic was really lackluster as well, because it probably would have been around like
That would have been around the time that Colors Ultimate was the latest release.
Yeah, so I mean,
it was around that time.
because I do have a bit of a topic I do want to bring in on the subject of Spark and other kind of adjacent games that kind of fit in that category of clearly inspired by Sonic but going down a different path. Is I I think it is absolutely fair to compare Spark to Sonic. Like, pretty much 100% of the people that are saying you shouldn't compare Spark to Sonic are Sonic fans. And they tend to say that because it's an argument they're probably going to struggle to win, beyond just, I prefer the Sonic games based on these merits and stuff, in which case that is a fair assessment. Put it this way.
you can like Sonic more, it's fine.
Yeah,
like
put it
you
this
can
way.
play both.
Sonic Frontiers is one of my absolute favorite video games of all time, because I love it. I love just jumping back on the game, spin dashing around some hills and valleys, and climbing on some rails and shit. Maybe even just doing the tower climbs for the sake of it, because it feels good, it's fun to do, the music is great, and I enjoy it for that reason. I revisit Sonic Frontiers more than I do any of the Spark the Electric Jester games. However, I would say, I think Sega definitely need to take a look at some of the stuff that works really well about Spark the Electric Jester. Like the sense of speed and movement and stuff like that. And I do feel like maybe they have. Like the combat elements in Sonic Frontiers, like, again, it does feel like an element of Spark the Electric Jester has been brought in
not
there.
dissimilar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's not...
I don't know if it would be like directly inspired, but it's definitely like, I don't know, it's possible they were like, oh, that looks cool.
But I was like,
why don't we try something like that?
The movement of this feels very good, and it's like at the time when like our most recent brand new Sonic game release was Sonic Forces, I can absolutely understand the perspective of Sonic games should try and be a bit more like Spark the Electric Jester. This is a very good blueprint for what a 3D Sonic game could be. But I will say this, I completely agree with you, Tom, in that there's a difference between drawing up comparisons and saying one game can take notes from the other, and also saying you're fucking stupid if you still like Sonic the Hedgehog after this, that, and the other, and all that bollocks, you know?
Yeah, that's ultimately the thing. More toxic people speak louder.
Yeah.
And they drown out the people that are actually trying to be civil about things and draw comparisons and see what this does right, what this does wrong. It just got drowned out in Spark's case, which is unfortunate.
I remember I first started playing Spark the Electric Jester 2 while I was at my sister's over Christmas, and she just saw it on my screen and was like, so what Sonic game is this then? I was like, it's not a Sonic game. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're playing as Super Sonic for starters. It's got rock music in it and stuff. It's clearly... I was like, yeah, but look, there's no rings or anything. It's not Sonic. I was like, it's a game that does a lot of things quite different to Sonic. And she's like, yeah, like what? I was like, combat. It's like, yeah, but the Sonic game you showed me last had combat. And it's like, that was a new thing. That was a new thing to Sonic. Sonic was not doing this at the time the Spark games came out.
You don't get it.
But also, like, comparing, like, Spark to, like, some of the Boost games, there is a lot that I think Spark does do quite a bit better. But, I mean, it's one of those things where I can say there are elements that it does better. Like, put it this way, like, I think the closest comparison I could kind of make would be between, like, Spark 2 and, say, Sonic Unleashed, or Spark 2 and, say, Sonic Adventure 2. And, like, for me, it's those Sonic games that win because of just elements in those Sonic games that make it better, but the basic movement and traversal stuff in Spark, it does feel like it's taken a lot of notes from Sonic, refined them, and now I feel like Sonic needs to take some notes from how they've evolved that formula and done it really well. Mainly for things like the cyberspace element, or if they want to do just like linear A to B levels. I feel like the open zone thing, they got a good thing going on there, and they could easily have a good thing going on with these cyberspace elements if they just did everything differently. But like, you know, like it's still, you know, I think Spark offers some very cool blueprints. It's a game I've had a consistent amount of fun with so far. I think Spark 1, I enjoyed it a lot, and I did think I think this is doing some more interesting things than a lot of the 2D Sonic games have done for a while. For example, just the way it does loop-de-loops and handles those elements, it gets a lot more ambitious with it. But I also feel like Spark 1 had the issue of, I think the bosses are a bit too fucking difficult, and the telegraphing can be a little narrow for me. And the level design can vary from being quite blocky to suddenly being very Sonic-y. So, yeah. But on a whole, I do love the Spark games for what they are. I think they do enough to kind of distinguish themselves from Sonic a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, they feel unique, especially once... I know I'm comparing it to Sonic Adventure 2, I said that, but, like, it's a very... I think the third game especially, like, they do go in a different direction as well with that one. Like, there's more to it than just running through levels. Like, they have different kinds of levels, and you can pick them in any order most of the time, which I think is nice. Like, if you want to do the more explorative level, you can do that. Like, you're looking for these, like, 6 coins or whatever, and then you beat the level. But they also have the get to the goal as fast as you can. And you can also explore those levels because they have medals. And the exploration factor is insane because most of the levels I've played, I haven't found many of the medals at all. Like, and they have this giant fucking beam of light coming out of them. And it's impressive that they're hidden in such a way that I didn't see them upon running down the regular paths. You know, so, like, they've done a lot to ensure that this new game... Like it has a very good identity to itself. Like, I'm really happy with that third game. It feels like a dream.
I also really like these characters and stuff, and I really want to see the original release of Spark 1, because apparently they changed all the dialogue in a later incarnation of it, because apparently on its first release it was too obvious that the writers were high as fuck.
Oh, you mean Spark 2?
Spark 1.
Or Spark 1? Because Spark 2 had something sort of like that too. I don't know if you remember, there was... in Spark 2, when they released the demo, it was back when it was called Fark the Electric Jester. There was, like, a bunch of swearing and edgy shit. And it was, like, I thought it was funny, but I guess it makes sense to take it out. What was it?
Was it, like, Reddit tier, like, corny sort of edgy humor, or was it just a bit overboard?
It's interesting, because I think people sort of misinterpreted it, because the character that was using it all, like, the character that swore the most, was the character that you were supposed to be like, wow, that guy's pathetic. You know, so, like, it was part of his character, but people saw it as like, oh, that's just edgy for the sake of being edgy, and, you know, whatever. Both things make sense.
Okay,
but,
so if there was an arc, then okay, sure.
Oh no, he just dies. He just gets
even
killed
better.
later.
That's even
Doesn't
better.
do anything.
See, I want them to release these, though. Like, make a version that I can buy on Steam or something that has all that intact. I want to see the baked
swear
as fuck.
cut.
Yeah, I want to see baked as fuck Spark 1 and cursing the fuck up Spark 2.
Yeah, it could be fun.
This is what happens when professionalism infects the mind, man. I'm telling you. Mr. Terry Chaos is... well, yeah, Mr. Terry Chaos and Webster are both discussing it, but, like, Webster mentioned, like, they realized they had a decent shot at a product and toned it down, like, man!
Yeah, that's probably what it... Like, it's kind of like how... You know, it's like with movies, how they're like, well, we gotta cut out this bad stuff so we can market it to the right audience, right? Like, because I doubt a lot of people... Like, if you saw Spark the Electric Jester 2 on Steam and it said, like rated M for, like, multiple F-bombs, then it's like... I don't know if a lot of adults or, like I said, adults, like, I'm not an adult, but you know what I mean? Like, most, like, older gamers might be like, that's not FIFA. I'm not playing that.
That's not FIFA. I mean, yeah, Mr. Terry Chaos also mentions it could be a localization thing, like stuff that's lost in translation because the game was originally made in Brazil. But, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I would still love it if they just released a version of it, made it readily available. Or like a DLC, maybe, and the DLC is just rated, you know, M for mature.
It's kind of interesting. That's like, this is a completely off-the-wall change, or a completely different topic, but I don't know if you guys have heard of the game Y2K, that postmodern RPG.
No,
that game is very infamous for having, from what I understand, basically they put the full novelization of the game into the game as the story. So it has a ridiculous amount of dialogue, like to the point where you probably get bored. It's like almost a visual novel, but it's an RPG. And after a while, they included an update where you could cut down the script, but it's still in there if you want to play it the way it was originally released. So it's like, I like that idea. Like, it's not erasing the thing that didn't work. It is saying, hey, okay, this didn't work. Here's this. And also they're preparing a whole new update, which is going to like completely overhaul the game, which seems kind of neat. But anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic.
That's
a good thing you brought that. I was about to go and say that Halo Master Chief Collection did something similar. I think one of those games did, but whatever, get off of Halo, back to Hedgehog.
I've just noticed another thing that's going to be a pain in the ass. I don't know how to find the super chats from the previous version of the stream from the first half.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I shouldn't have closed the other thing. I forgot.
No fault of your own.
Yeah. If it could, is there any chance anyone still has that previous one open? Like we could. Maybe, hold on, maybe I can, like, find it in my history. Maybe I can pull it up
The thing
again.
is, I had it open just a second ago, but I couldn't see the live chat.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna...
I don't know how to get the live chat up on a VOD.
Well, typically there's a setting you can enable that says, wait, isn't there, like, a fan funding tab in YouTube Studio? Can't we see something like that, maybe?
Maybe, but I don't know how recently it updates it. Sorry, everyone listening. Just getting a bit technical now.
Yeah, no, it was a very inconvenient internet drop.
Yeah, it was like the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
If you aren't used to this by now, then what are you doing here?
Let's see. Go to the... I mean, you don't have it open, do you, Tom?
No, I don't have it open anymore.
I cannot find it either. It's not showing up, the VOD thing.
I mean, it doesn't really matter if I can't check.
Hold up.
Okay.
We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I found him. All right, cool.
Oh,
Let me just paste those into...
paste those into mailbag.
Yeah, I'll put
Crisis averted.
All right. Yep, so I'm just putting these down now. But if you guys do want to continue just talking about... Like, I mean, have you played any sort of games that are directly inspired by Sonic, Tom?
Hang on, give me a second. Let me just check between my Steam library.
You got Freedom Planet? Someone mentioned Freedom Planet because it is in the thumbnail.
Yeah, Freedom Planet was also on the piss as well. So I haven't played Freedom Planet myself, but I've heard very good things.
I've played about... I actually don't know how much I played it, because there was this problem that I was streaming it once, and my internet started... You know, funny story. My internet started crapping out, just like today. And it sort of soured it so bad for me that I did not return to do another part of it, so I never finished the game. But it is a very... That game is a very interesting case, because I believe it started life as a Sonic fan game, and then they eventually reworked it completely into its own thing. So, like, there are definitely Sonic elements in that one, but it also feels very distinct. Like, it feels like its own thing. And I haven't played the second one, so I can't speak on that one, but I assume it's still probably pretty good.
I think it's a really kind of cool thing that, like, these really talented folks are making these really good Sonic fan games, but kind of also acknowledging they could have a new IP going on here. Because, like, Freedom Planet was a success, wasn't it? Like, it was successful enough to spawn a sequel, too.
I mean, it's got a sequel, yeah.
In terms of gameplay, like, how does it kind of compare with Sonic? I mean, it's obviously still going to be, like, a momentum-based side-scrolling game, but, like, does it have, like, combat elements and stuff?
From what... It's been a long time since I've played it, but from what I remember, there is a lot of, you know, run downhill, go fast, run through this area, attack enemies. You do have... If I'm remembering correctly, you do have, like, a little kick attack, or at least like a little kick combo attack. And then you also have... Playing as... Actually, there's 3 playable characters, as far as I'm aware. And you play as Lilac, or I played as Lilac most of the time. She has this really fun ability called, like, a... Might be the Dragon Dash, or Dragon something. where you got to build up energy by collecting crystals throughout the levels, and then you can do this fun. It's like you can shoot off in any direction, like go upwards. You can bounce against walls, go back and forth. It has combat, and you take damage from enemy attacks rather than collision, says Gunner in the chat. It's a good one. Like, it's been out for a while now. Like, that's one of the sort of like the OGs.
Also has like a full-on story with like voice acting and stuff in it, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, and it gets kind of intense in some of them. Like, I think in the first one, there's literally like a torture scene. Like when the character gets, I'm not laughing because it's, it's fucked up, but it's just interesting to see. It's like, this used to be a Sonic fan game, and now it's like, oh, the character's being captured and tortured.
Sonic has that
they like rip her
in Forces.
Does it really?
Not officially, no.
But
not according to Azuka.
That's not like that. It doesn't define the game or anything. But it is a very interesting story because it feels a lot more of a mature than most Sonic stories.
Sure.
I guess. It's good though. I like it a lot. Like, it's something I do want to return to, and I am curious about the sequel because I'm sure they've improved things.
I know the art style is very different in the sequel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They did. They changed the character. Yeah.
Yeah, the character designs are a little more moving away from kind of like the Sonic, because that was the thing, is the first one, you can imagine these characters existing in Sonic's world, even though like they don't have to.
Some of them I could imagine it, but others I would say no.
Lilac could easily fit in a Sonic game.
I think that's why they changed her design in the second one.
That was actually a thing I kind of wanted to mention with Penny's Big Breakaway as well, is there's like a lot of elements, like the music. I wanted to talk about the music real quick. The music, like T-Lopes made a point of, this is distanced from his Sonic music, and I can absolutely tell a difference. Like, yeah, this doesn't sound like anything that's been in Sonic before, but you could put it in a Sonic game and it would totally work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the music still has that very sort of grooving feel to it. It's still got quite a 90s sort of New Jack feel. There's also little elements that kind of remind me of the Beatles in certain parts. But, yeah, the music is fantastic in Penny's Big Breakaway. And I suppose, like, if these games are kind of pulling inspiration from Sonic, music is quite important. And I can safely say Spark the Electric Jester nails the music department.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I think Freedom Planet does really well with music as well. Like, I remember a lot of the tunes from that one.
Okay, I need to check out Freedom Planet. I've heard such good things.
It's a neat game, and like I said, there's multiple playable characters. I don't know how, or like if it changes the story a ton in the first one, but I know that they have vastly different playstyles. Like, I think one of them, I think her name's Mia. I think she flies, like, a little bit like Cream.
Okay.
I think. But I haven't played as Carol. She has a motorcycle, though. I know that. So that's pretty badass.
This all reminds me of, I was editing a video for Gilly the Kid that was kind of about, like, Sonic clones. This was back in December. And there was a game from a studio called, like, Vic Tokai or something, or Vic Tokai? Something along those lines. Well, anyways, it's kind of a Sonic clone kind of thing. In Japan, it's known as the Time Dominator. But it's about a duck. There's a duck, and he kind of travels time and stuff. But the name of the US version is so funny to me, because, like, what do you call a Sonic knockoff character? The game is called Socket.
Socket?
Yes, Socket, yeah.
I just looked it up, and I saw Socket. I feel like I've played this.
That's so fucking funny to me.
Played this.
If I remember right, the music's actually kind of decent in that one, too. But I mean,
it's a Genesis game, so they got the good music.
I don't think I've ever played a Mega Drive game that didn't have kind of banger music.
That's one thing they got right with that thing.
It's that Yamaha.
Oh, sorry, I got that character's name wrong earlier. It's not Mia, it's Mila. Mila.
Okay. Duckles. Mr. Terry Chaos said I hoped it would be called Duckles.
Dude, the duck in this game in Socket looks a lot like a Tiny Toon or something.
Yeah, I could imagine him in Tiny Toons. Maybe he's like a relative of Daffy or something.
Yeah. It has been... oh, right here, it says, diehard game fans reviewers gave Socket scores around 85% and praised its gameplay, graphics, and music, but the game has been criticized for too closely resembling Sonic the Hedgehog.
See, there you go.
I'll have to check that one out again. It seems cool.
Oh, man.
Socket.
There was also one called Awesome Possum as well.
Awesome Possum? That's a fucking awesome name.
It's an awesome name. The name goes hard. But that was also a bit of a Sonic clone. At this point, I'm just basically rewording Gilly the Kid's video on it. You can check it out. It's on his channel.
It's also on the Genesis. It's interesting.
Yeah, Awesome Possum looks kind of bad. If Awesome Possum is what I remember it being, Awesome Possum was like a environmentalist game. Like,
Yeah,
it has
a recycling triangle on the box art.
Yeah, so, okay, between levels, you have to, like, answer environmental trivia, but the game doesn't actually give you the answers, so you just kind of have to happen to know it.
Huh. That's not the best game design, I wouldn't say.
That's not awesome, if you ask me.
Oh, hold on, Charles Champ in chat, back to Freedom Planet, said Freedom Planet 1 had a reward on their Kickstarter stretch goals that they still haven't gotten to because they can't, due to engine limits. That's unfortunate.
Ooh.
Now, what was it? That's my question. Charles,
Well,
do you know what the reward was? That's the thing that can so often happen with these Kickstarter things, though, is people don't always recognize their own limits and stuff like that. And it's why I also kind of said on Twitter, I said, like, there's been a lot of instances in history, like the AVGN movie, Spider-Man Lotus, and stuff like that, where people have seen, like, a Kickstarter thing that they like the idea of. So the creator has asked for, like, 10K, and then the audience have been like, here's 100K instead. And I kind of had to say, like, if someone's asked for 10K and you're giving them 100K, you're not doing them a favor. You're actually making it a lot harder for them, because they've set out this budget with a certain vision in mind. Not to mention, budget management is an obstacle all in of itself. And you cannot just... I mean, you can pay someone to do budget management, but not everyone thinks to do so, you know? Like... And, like, where do you even find one? A lot of people don't know where to begin.
It's difficult because having more money to complete the project is great, but I think... I don't mean this to be, like, super negative on Kickstarter, but, like, Kickstarter and things like it, when that does yield more than they're expecting, I feel like it adds a lot of pressure to, like, provide... I mean, not that they don't want to make the best game that they can, but, like, it provides a lot of stress for people, I would assume, to come up with more stuff they can do that might not really fit in at first.
And sometimes
Sort
it
of
might
like,
just be better
you
if
know.
it's just kept to the original idea as well. Like, bigger isn't always better. Like, imagine if, like, say, Batman Arkham Asylum, a game that very much works because of its kind of contained nature and stuff like that. If they
Always
did, like,
back
a
to Batman.
Kickstarter, and it's like, oh yeah, now you have to add Gotham City to it. It's like, how would you even add Gotham City to Arkham Asylum in a meaningful way? And you could just say Arkham City, but that's a different game, you know? Like...
Yeah. It's interesting, because, like, obviously, the more money you have to make a project happen, like, it's technically a good thing. But once you start getting to, like you said with the Freedom Planet thing, if they were like, wow, because I have an article right here that says Freedom Planet quintupled its goal when it was on Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's
so,
the thing.
like,
people need to learn...
That's a big thing.
That
you know,
they are
like,
not...
That's huge.
Yeah. That they're not doing the creator a favor by giving them 4 times what they asked for. And that's the thing as well, is, like, sometimes people set out these goals because they know that's what they can manage, but there's also a lot of people that won't say no, or won't, like, shut off the Kickstarter thing because they don't realize how difficult it is to work with a big budget like that until they've got the budget. It's one of those things where I'm working on my own fan film projects and stuff. I'm working on, like, a short film called Speeding Ticket: A Sonic Adventure, where Sonic gets a speeding ticket and has to go appeal it. And I haven't crowdfunded it, but if I crowdfunded it, I would need, like, I don't know, $100. That's all I would fucking need for it, is $100. Give me $100, I can buy a soda.
A really good cheeseburger.
Yeah, I could buy lunch for
animated.
everyone that's involved in the project. That's all I would really need. And then let's say,
and that's it.
And let's say someone's so like, oh, I like the Sonic model that you've downloaded for this. Here's $100 million billion, and it's like, well, I'm not making a fucking feature. I didn't set out to make a fucking feature with a spin-off TV series. I set out to make a short film. I said I need 100 for the short film. Don't give me fucking $250,000 to make a fucking cinematic universe spanning over the next few decades. I didn't ask for that, you know? You're not doing me a favor.
Yeah, no, I
Because
think
at that
there is-
point, oh, sorry, you go.
This is not. I'll be quick. I'll just say that a thing.
No, no, no.
that,
I talk too much. Sorry.
That's fine. No, it's fine. I'm the guest here. So, now, fuck. What was I gonna say? Right. In like in uni right now, like what we're doing is like because we got I think the last thing we did was like a game jam sort of thing. So we all got into little groups and we had to like, come up with our own sort of ideas. It wasn't, and I think we got our own sort of briefs. We had to make a Doom sort of game and condense it into like a big arena with environmental storytelling. That was the entire point of the unit. And they said that if you've got too much to do, make secondary targets, have a main goal to follow, and then do secondary targets as extra. Anything extra you think would improve it, just make it a secondary target and just focus on primary targets, which is easier said than done because I had to constantly keep on telling people, right, keep this condensed. Because it's really hard to keep a cap on it. It is really hard to keep a cap on ideas because they keep on flowing. So I can understand it's very hard to when you've
Things
got
can grow and
extra money.
snowball, but it's also like you can't pay for more motivation. You can't pay to never be tired. You can't pay for ideas if you don't have them. You know, it's like if you're getting money, you need to know what to do with the money. You know, and it's like the more money you have, the more money you need to have ideas to account for. Like, Tom, like if you were developing something and you asked for like, I don't know, $1,000, and someone gave you like 100,000, what would you even fucking do? Are you just gonna give like your coworker a massive pay rise or something? Like, what?
I mean, like what I do is
That
I
would be
try and
nice.
see- I mean, yeah, I feel like what I do is just see if there are any like higher quality, better alternatives to the stuff I would be currently using. Like if I was using
Yeah.
like a decently priced, like not hyper expensive, but like not very expensive thing I was using. If I got that much money, upgrade. If it's similar enough to what I'm using already, because if you do upgrade and you don't know anything about the program, that's going to create even more problems in the pipeline, which
Big issue. Yeah.
might be why some of these things fail because they upgrade to stuff without knowing what it is first, and they get tripped up on learning new things. That come to think about, that's probably a very realistic thing that happens.
Yeah, it's like I knew a
They're,
dude
flying
that like
close to the sun.
a dude that like shot a YouTube video on like a red camera, and that's like that's overkill. You're not gonna notice any of the benefits of the red in a YouTube video, you know?
Yeah, like if and
It's difficult too because I think I said this already, sort of, but the pressure from the additional cash, even if you want to stick to your guns and continue to make like the project as it was envisioned, I feel like you sort of run the risk of people going, well, where did all that money go? You know, like, and you didn't ask for it in the first place.
We put more quills on Sonic. It's $1 a quill. He's got 150,000 quills on his back now.
Dude, for every extra dollar, we'll give one kiss out to the audience.
Yeah.
hell yeah. I mean, I'd say I'd probably just hold on to it and see what I can spend on to improve it at any point. That's ultimately what I'd try and do. I know holding on to money isn't really a very good thing to do, but so long as it does get paid eventually, and people's money wasn't just taken,
Yeah, as long as it goes back
personal
into
use.
it. I suppose you could buy ad space. Like you could buy ad
That's
space.
a good idea.
Actually, yeah, marketing, money for marketing. That's a pretty good way to spend it.
But it's
Instead
like-
of just focusing all on the game itself, focus on marketing.
In my case, I'm gonna fly to Green Hill Zone and film this bit for my Sonic short. Like that's the thing.
I'm gonna
is-
make Green Hill Zone real.
This short of mine doesn't fucking require shit that costs money. You just gotta make it in Blender, and then we're going.
Actually,
I flew out
I just-
10 friends to Green Hill Zone, and this is what we did.
3
never
a.m.
guess
challenge
what
gone
happened.
wrong, gone sexual.
I remember back when Pizza Tower was being kickstarted.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, it's not Pizza Tower. It's when Anton Blast was being kickstarted. I remember they had a bunch of stretch goals that I think they surpassed. It seemed like it was all stuff that could have been in the original documents, though, right? You know, like it's nothing that crazy, but for like, it was something crazy. Like the highest stretch goal was just, we will kill Anton. And like, I don't think they ever elaborated on it, and that's the funniest shit you could do. Because like, imagine if they make it to that goal, then they have to go, uh-oh. Like, what does that mean? Like, what do we do?
I remember when I was.
I just think funny stuff like that is fun.
I remember when I made like my Patreon page for the first time. There was like a tier for like I think it was $100K pledge, I will delete my YouTube channel.
I will delete the internet.
I will throw my Wi-Fi router at the wall, and I will not replace it.
You'll never hear from me again.
100K, and you just put a date in, like 25th of July 2026. No, nothing else. It's just a date. You don't know what happens on that day, but if you reach it, something will happen on that day. You
can't guarantee what it is.
What if something horrible happened that day, and then everyone's like, "What did you do? Why did you do it?" And then he's like, "No, it was a joke. It was a joke. I didn't do it."
Hi, I'm the developer of.
For you trying out a Subway for the first time.
I'm the developer of the new Liberty World video game. I only needed 20K for the game development, but you guys gave me 200K, so I just bought an escort for everyone involved in the production of this game. I'm the only person involved in the production, though. It's a really good escort.
I think there'd be more pressing matters on hand instead of the money laundering stuff in that case.
Is it really money laundering if you are spending the money towards things that are involved? Like, I gave my main actor, I gave my actor $20,000. Fuck it, that's the fee for showing up.
I mean, sure, but
That's
I think
cool.
the thing is, like, investors need to know where their money is going, otherwise it gets into scam territory.
The thing is, though, if they're giving you way more than you asked for and you have to spend it on something and you have nothing else to spend it on, what can you do? You can't even call it a scam because you only asked for a certain amount, right?
Well, then do we go back to the thing you said earlier, closing the thing?
Can you do
Closing
that?
the
Is that
funding.
something you can do? And is that something everyone has the sense to do?
It's difficult.
Yeah, that's
like,
the thing. Do you have the sense to do it? Because if not, then you've got to realize that if you keep it open and more people keep donating, you keep on letting more money come in, you've got to be responsible for that money. If you don't,
yeah.
if you don't want any more because you don't know if you can handle that much money, close it. Stop people from donating when you've got enough. It's not really like, oh, can you handle this much? No, you have the choice. Stop it right then and there, so you don't get to this point.
they're not obligated to come up with more either. Like, it's not like, hey, I did pass my goal.
This is what I
You
sold
don't
you.
really need to. But
This
then
is what I
there
sold
will
you.
be
You
people.
put the bid up.
Yeah, there will be people that will be mad about it, or they'll complain about it, because, like, that's just how the world is.
Every
But imagine
Kickstarter-
you work on this project that you've always wanted to do. You get way more money than you needed. And you just make the thing you want to make, but people are still mad, even if it's good. Like, I feel like you just can't win.
I think every Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign should have at least a little small print or something that says, I only need this much, I don't intend on changing the project, so if you do pay me more than you owe me, I'm just gonna eat the money.
I mean, so long as there's transparency, I mean, sure.
I mean, can you do that? Could you legally, if you have that clause in there, just keep it?
I mean, if you put it in there, investors will be told what they're buying into. So if they choose to go over and they read it, that's on them. I don't think at that point you can really argue legally.
Yeah, I think as long as you say
wrong.
that, I mean,
I will spend it on that cool mech thing that I found on AliExpress for 4K.
I'm gonna buy a full VR room with a floor that moves when I move, so I don't walk into the wall.
It will feature in the background of the film. It will add to the production values.
No, it's just for me. It's not for anyone else.
I will rent the country of Liechtenstein for a week.
I will actually blow up the Empire State Building for this film.
Uh-oh.
Not again.
Probably should have chose a different city for that, but it is what it is. I was thinking about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man would never do that.
Spider-Man
No,
wouldn't, but the Green Goblin would.
Okay, but what about the Chrysler building?
Not the fucking... No, it's too beautiful.
No! Leave it alone!
It's the prettiest building in New York City.
It
the
is
only
good. It's
building.
a very nice building, yeah.
It's a very Art Deco, you know? Fun fact, the Empire State Building only has a spire on the top of it because they were trying to compete with the Chrysler Building at the time.
They were trying to see if anyone fell from
really-
the sky and landed on top of it. It would be really funny.
They really had a measuring contest that long ago. Wow.
What's crazy is, I think it's the ultimate, like, Spider-Man brain rot that the Empire State Building is the tallest building in New York, because in the games it typically is. It's only the 7th tallest building in NYC.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty old building, so there's no way it will keep up with... Isn't the new World Trade Center pretty tall?
Yeah, the new World Trade Center, I believe, is the tallest building in NYC.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
They should make Joe's Pizza the tallest building in NYC. They could literally call it a pizza tower.
Oh shit, that'd be awesome.
Oh my god.
That's the new stretch goal for the Pizza Tower 2 Kickstarter.
We will actually make a
We will
building that
build
is
the
a
pizza
pizza
tower.
tower.
We
And
will
then knock it
purchase
down.
Property. Property will be purchased.
I
You
haven't-
will be able to experience it.
I haven't played Pizza Tower before.
Oh, dude,
It's-
it's one of the best games ever made. Like, not joking, not
As
exaggerating.
good as Klonoa?
Yeah.
No, nothing is as good.
No,
as
it might be
Klonoa.
better.
No,
I think I like Pizza Tower more than most of the games I've ever played.
Klonoa is like the benchmark for the greatest video game.
No, this is above it, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is
It's
not
like-
2000 anymore. Come
But he's
on.
got such cool ears. Look how floppy they are.
I know, but actually, you know what? It's funny that Pizza Tower is brought up, because that actually I would compare a little bit more with Sonic, because it's a 2D platformer that's based on speed.
Yeah, the
and
entire
you have
thing
to
is
earn
really going
Right,
on.
well, hold on. If it's a side scroller, it can't be a contender for best video game of all time. Sorry, that's just the rules.
Klonoa is a side-scroller, bro.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut
a
up.
very slow
Just
one.
saying.
at that.
The second one has snowboarding sections that are in 3D.
It does. There are 3D things in that one, you're right.
Yeah.
But Pizza Tower is fucking awesome. Like, the fact that it was made by, I think it was made primarily by one person, too, is sort of insane, because it's, I don't know, that is such a polished game with an incredible soundtrack and such a unique art style. Like, it checks all the boxes.
I love
Like, it is amazing.
Mega Traffic Cone says Pup likes games that were made in the era of paying for ringtones. Something Nick said to me while I was out in the States with him. He said, like, it's like I am permanently stuck in, like, 90s teenager mode. But
He never left the 90s.
I wasn't a teenager in the 90s, so that's the funny part. I am like the human
Yeah.
equivalent of a Blink-182 music video. And I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, that's my part. That I said that part. But...
Yeah,
Got it.
I mean, I'm just in the 90s, and I wasn't even a concept in the 90s.
Yeah. I think I was born in 96, so, like, I was young. I was
I
very
too
young.
am a-
I was 8 years
96.
after that. I was fucking 2004. So Jesus.
Oh, wow.
He's like the least insufferable youth on the internet.
There's two halves of Gen Z, or Gen Z, depending on which country. You got when does Gen Z start?
I mean, it's
When does it start, like 98?
1996 is literally the cusp. So if you're in
Okay, yeah,
96, like Dylan and I would
96.
technically we'd be cuspers.
Millennial.
We're not Gen Z or millennial. We're cuspers.
You'd be edges.
Edges. I like it. Gooners.
You'd just be edging on the side of it.
You know it.
Edging on those Gen Z. Oh god.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Okay,
Hey, a
hold
lot
on.
of Gen Z are of the age of consent now, so you can say that.
That's
Just don't-
Just having to clarify that is such an awful statement.
Just don't say anything about Gen Alpha, all right? Why do they get to
Hey,
be
man.
Gen Alpha as well? Fuck them.
I don't know who's naming these fucking generations, but they gotta figure out what they want to go with and stick with it.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
like
I-
consoles. You know how they were like, hey, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Like,
Oh
shut
my
the fuck
god,
up and
we
just
should
name
just
them
have
after numbers,
Microsoft
idiot.
do it. The first generation is just generation. The next one is Gen 360, Gen 1, Gen X. That's brilliant. Fuck. The thing is, there's not like a Gen D or a Gen A. The only Gen A I know of is in fucking Forrest Gump. Fucking, like why did they start lettering them at X?
Gen A?
Gen A. Watch me Gump. Now watch me Gen A.
It took me a second. I was like, what are you talking about? I had to say it in my head. Gen A. Oh, I get it.
Gen A.
Gen A, you're a Gen Z.
If Forrest Gump was talking to a Gen Zer, run. Run, not Forrest runs. The Gen A, run.
Gen Z, run. Run.
Run.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good film.
I like that movie.
You know another Tom Hanks film I really like is The Terminal.
I was thinking of the
Haven't seen
Terminal,
that.
actually. Bridge of Spies is good. I really like Bridge of Spies.
I remember, I
I
think one of
liked
the first...
Toy Story.
Oh, dude, it goes without fucking saying. Toy Story is goated. Man.
God forbid what they do with the fifth.
I'm gonna see it. I will see it.
Did I mention my story with Toy Story 4 on the podcast before? Have I mentioned this?
It doesn't matter if you have. You might as well just say it anyway, because not everyone is watching every episode.
It's so funny because I saw Toy Story 3 when it came out, and I was like, I cried at the end. It was so beautiful, and I was like, that's such a beautiful ending to like an important series that I care about, you know.
Yeah.
And then Toy Story 4 came out, and I didn't watch it for a long time. Not because I didn't like. It's not that I wasn't interested. I just really never found the time for it. I wasn't really interested because I thought it ended really nicely in 3. And then I watched the 4th one with my sister, and the ending made me really upset because I was like, you're gonna throw. This is where I admit that I'm a toy that's come to life. Yeah, that's me. I was like, they're gonna like break up the gang, and like Woody's gonna stay here. Like they can all go together. Like what the fuck are they doing? Why would they do this? Just to make me sad? And then that night, I had a dream where there was an alternate ending to the movie, where they all get like, because I think towards the end they're like up on that awning on the trailer, and that's where they split off. But in my dream, the awning like retracts and pulls everyone onto it. So my fucking brain was so distraught over that ending that I dreamed an ending where they all stay together and they're all friends. I was like, I woke up and I was like, that's a new one for me. Like I willed this into existence.
Your unconscious brain conjured up a better ending than Pixar.
Well, shut up. Shut up. Good ending. Sad ending. Yeah, good ending.
I'm not saying it's like a bad ending, but like I was very upset over it because I was like, no, they can't do that. They don't even have cell phones. They won't be able to talk anymore.
My sister hates that movie and refuses to ever watch it again because of that ending, because it made her weep.
Well, yeah. I think I probably cried.
The fourth one, yeah. The third one she can manage. The fourth one she cannot. Like, so for me, it's interesting because the third one is a longer ending. It's more drawn out and stuff, and it kind of eases you into it. The fourth one fucking hit me like a bus in the cinema. Now,
they can't do this.
I wasn't like crying because I'm just too macho for that, you know. I'm not a crier, you know.
I am an alpha male.
I just get more pissed off. I mean, that's not the right description in this case.
I just dream up a new ending. You feel
that?
You feel
that feeling in your throat. You feel the warmth behind your eyes, but I don't like tear up. It's just not something my body does in these instances. So, yeah, like with 4, it's one of those things where I was enjoying the movie as it was on so much that I kind of forgot that 3 already had a really good ending. Like my feelings of, oh, can this justify itself, kind of dissipated as soon as the film started. I was like, yay, it's a Toy Story, you know, everyone's back, and this is a good movie. So like,
can they justify the 5th one? You think?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. But like, the reason why
as they go on, they're getting harder to justify.
Well, the reason why my answer is going to be more yes and no is kind of as follows with the Toy Story thing. It was like, even if 3 has a perfect ending to the story of those first 3 movies, does that devalue 4's right to exist, even if it is a really fucking good movie? Because that was what I was thinking up until the end. Then when the end came, again, it's so sudden. It's like, oh god, Woody's going. He's going.
Yeah, he's leaving.
And I was like, oh god. I feel the throat. I feel the warmth behind the eyes. Like, oh my god, what? No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And it hit me because I was like, Woody, in all 3
you
of
got
those
a friend
movies,
in him.
Was living for Andy. Everything he did was for Andy. And in 4, throughout the entire movie, he's denying his own well-being and happiness and the peace among his gang because he's living for Bonnie. He's living for a child. And then by the end of the movie, he finally does something for himself and goes with Bo Peep. He gets some of that Bo pussy. And oh, dude, the line where like, Rex is like, does this mean Woody's a lost toy? And Buzz like, he's not lost. Not anymore. I was like, oh my god, because in Toy Story 1, when he's at the fucking gas station, he breaks down because he thinks he's a lost toy.
A lost toy.
Now he's away from his kid, and Oh, he's away from his kid and he's not lost. It's so good. I fucking adore
Bo
Toy
Peep
Story
has a
4.
friend in her.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Someone said it's a mixed ending because Evil Dalek said it's a mixed ending because Andy asking Bonnie to take care of Woody and she failed that.
No, 5
time.
has got to be Andy's revenge. Like,
I feel like Andy's not gonna come back, right? Like that would be weird if he comes back and he's like, "So, are my toys still okay?"
so
You know
the-
you know that one drawing
not gonna
of like,
visit
him just
Bonnie.
holding? You know that one drawing that's been plastered around everywhere of him just like holding like a child up, just yelling in his face. It'd just be that.
Yeah. No,
Woody!
but like so.
Revenge of Sid. That would be crazy. Sid's working at like Amazon warehouse and he finds Woody.
Well,
I
he's
like to
already.
imagine that he was the garbage truck driver in
Yeah,
3.
he was the garbage truck driver in
Oh.
3.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, he's even got a skull on his t-shirt because everyone knows that people wear the same shirts into their adolescent
Yeah,
years, and
forever.
only one guy can
I'm-
wear a shirt with a skull on it. You know.
I mean, I haven't really grown much since high school, so I'm still kind of wearing the same clothes.
Valid. But yeah, no, I adored Toy Story 4, and I just think if Toy Story 5 is a really good movie, that's all it needs to justify itself. But what I will say is I thought the direction they were taking things with Lightyear made a lot of sense. You keep these characters
Oh, I
around.
still gotta watch that.
You're keeping these characters around, but you're telling the stories that a Toy Story movie wouldn't. You're telling the stories that are behind those characters, so it enriches that lore. And admittedly, we already had something pretty great in the form of the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command animated series and pilot. But I thought Lightyear was also very good, but sadly, Lightyear flopped. And I still don't get the criticisms when it comes to Lightyear. I think it's a fucking damn good movie. It's a total love letter to sort of pulpy sci-fi of like the 1970s and stuff like that. And it's a very mature movie, so I respect it for that. But it's one of those things where I think the perfect thing to do if they want to do more Toy Story, but without pulling the trigger on a Toy Story 5, would be do another Lightyear movie. Do a fucking Woody's Roundup Disney Plus series where they are wooden puppets, just like in the original that you saw in Toy Story 2, but it's a whole series of that on Disney Plus. That would be awesome, I think.
I feel like that wouldn't really be for me, but I feel like that's a good idea, like using the established stuff that they have,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because these characters have lore behind them that we could explore, you know? Like,
The lore. I need the Rex lore immediately.
okay, I don't think you can do much with Rex, admittedly, but
That's
Oh my god, wait. I'm sorry. There's a fucking legendary moment I need to mention about. I was hanging out with my siblings, my brother, my stepbrother, or whatever, and I think we were watching Toy Story, and like unironically, my brother turns to us and he's like, "Why do they never tell us what kind of dinosaur Rex is?" It's to this day, it's fucking kills me to think about because it's like funny.
I tell
funny
you what that
like, and
reminds
it's not
me
like
of.
he was a kid either.
That
He
reminds
wasn't like
me
a child. He was like a teenager. It was so fucking funny.
Well,
That
they never
line
expressed what
of
perfection
thinking.
Woody has.
is so
Well,
similar.
exactly.
But that line of thinking is so similar to that bit in Toy Story 2 when Rex is like, "Hey, how do you spell FBI?"
He does not have many moments like that. There's probably like 2 moments I can think of where my brother has totally blanked like that. I bet I do it a lot. I do it a lot more. But that
I
was
mean,
just
I
one of
thought
my
I'd missed your
favorite moments
birthday
of my
because it was
entire
in
life.
March.
That was
I want a
Yeah,
spin-off
Pup can't
movie
count.
about Rocky Gibraltar. Remember Rocky Gibraltar?
I No.
He was just this little background character in Toy Story 1 during the Strange Things montage. He's the one
the
lifting the
big
weights.
buff guy.
Yeah, I'll put it in.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
no, I know who that is.
put it in the
Oh,
background.
I know. what
Give
you're talking
me,
about.
give me a fucking Rocky Gibraltar spin-off movie.
Remember how Toy Story 2 was so involved with like getting Wheezy the penguin back, and then in Toy Story 3 he was just fucking not there anymore.
It's so sad. Like that. 3, that's the thing, is like 3 has a very sad, foreboding undertone to it throughout the entirety of the film. There's this sense of like dread throughout the entire thing, and everyone's gone. 4 doesn't have that. 4 is like a warm hug of a movie, you know, and I appreciate that. I needed 4, I think.
That's fair. I mean, like it's interesting that because they, you know, I guess if you look at it as more of like the first 3 are a trilogy, and then you move on. Not that I'm saying it needs to be another trilogy, but like maybe justify it by saying, okay, we had that first story arc,
Yeah, no, I agree.
the Andy arc.
Yeah, it's like it's.
Now we've got the new stuff.
Yeah, I guess you could say that like the reason that 3 ended the way it did is because it's saying goodbye to the old people that grew up with the film, since the first one was like late 90s and then it ended in like 2015, so people would be old enough.
The thing I'm gonna say is, I think 5 needs to not do the whole "this is the big sad ending" thing this time. I feel like you've spent all those coins now. Like, it was hard to justify with 4, but you did it successfully. With 5, it needs to be, we're either continuing this series or we're not. I don't think you can do the whole, "oh, we've grown up with you guys" thing when not this time.
Again.
We've already grown up, and like the fans of Toy Story 4 already had like a conclusion. Strange.
I think Woody is supposed to be back in the new one as well, so they can't really do the "all right, see you later, partner" again.
Yeah, both Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are back. And I know that Tim Allen said he wants the story to be like the toys get passed on to Andy's children, but like, again, how are you going to is Andy going to come back to Bonnie and be like, "I need these. I got a kid of my own now"?
Bonnie's still like 6 and he's like, "Hey, give me those back."
And he's like, "Where the fuck is Woody? Where the fuck is Woody? Bonnie?"
The Toy Story podcast for the classic and modern age.
God. See, this is what it's all about, though. It's all about those tangents, man. It's all about the tangents. I think we've talked all we can about the main topic, right? So we might as well just have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did do a pretty good job this week of going over the topics we had laid out. I feel like we went through each thing at pretty good pace, and then, that leaves time for more tangents.
We've got to do that thing that if you go to Disneyland and see like a Disney parade or a Disney show, the characters all like congratulate each other at the end of it, like, "Wow, we were so great! You were so great, Goofy." We gotta just do that. Like,
we did do a good job. Today.
I agree, but I just think it would be really funny if we ended all of our main topic bits by being like, "Yes, gang, we did it! 2024 is gonna be our year, fellas."
Third time's a charm. Yeah.
2024 is going to be our year. So, shall we do super chats?
Yeah, as long as there's nothing else we gotta add. Anything.
Todd?
Yeah.
I heard you bragging about something. What's up?
I just said to finish off this topic, WALL-E is still the best Pixar movie.
WALL-E's a great movie. WALL-E's a fucking damn good movie. Great. I don't know if I'd call it the best.
It's one of my favorite films of all time.
The thing with a lot of Pixar films is it's like comparing 10 out of 10s to 10 out of 10s. Like, it's difficult.
I mean, from the era that WALL-E came out in, it was non-stop, back-to-back. Everything was like contender for best film. Because what was it? Was it Ratatouille after WALL-E?
Yeah,
which is like,
Ratatouille, also a masterpiece.
By
that point...
That movie... I love that movie because it's so funny to me that a little rat wants to cook food.
It's all, like, the rat in the kitchen is a good thing. Like, that's so high concept. But, you'd had
complexities with its art.
You'd had like The Incredibles. You got Up, also a great movie. Although I will say, I still think the first 10 minutes of Up carries that movie. Like, if it wasn't for that, I don't think it would be as beloved as it is. I mean, to be fair, it's like saying if the movie wasn't the same movie, it wouldn't be as beloved. But like, I still think those first 10 minutes are the bit that people are really talking about when they say how good Up is. One that doesn't get talked about enough is Coco. Coco's a fucking damn good movie.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen the ending, I think.
It's a must-see. Like, you've got to see it.
Yeah, I don't think it gets talked about as much, though, because it's from the more modern Pixar era, which is just...
modern Pixar has some bangers, though. Like...
They do, but it's also, like, not as consistently, like, high quality as the original golden era was, because they're still pretty good films, but, like, compared to the original stuff they made, like, it's...
When they nail it, though, they nail it. I recently... Oh, at Christmas time, I saw Elemental. And that movie, I am glad things picked up for it, because it's a damn good movie. It's not necessarily original, but it's very sincere. And it's one of those things that made me realize I value sincerity much more than I value necessarily inherent originality all over the shop. Not everything needs to always be original. As long as you can tell your story with a good sense of sincerity to it, then it's worth telling, you know?
I'm just kind of getting tired of the whole, like, okay, gang, what's the next thing we could turn into a person and, tell a story with emotions, elements, clouds, like
Mexican people?
Dead people.
And then you can be like, they go like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it really sad, and it's gonna be it's about the water guy and the fire girl.
It's
and,
not a sad movie though. It's got sad moments. I mean, that's movies in general, but it's not like a sad movie. This isn't like feel bad for the water or anything like that.
Oh, and they name it one word. They don't like give it any like meaningful title. They just name it after what it is.
What's the one that had Chris Pratt and Tom Holland being Chris Pratt and Tom Holland? I thought that was pretty mid.
That was like what was it?
Journeys or something?
Something like Journey. Like
oh, Onward. I thought that one was just
Onward.
It was fine. As far as animated films go, it's still of a very high pedigree, but I thought as far as Pixar goes, it was pretty mid.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything.
I haven't seen that one.
I think Finding Dory gets a really unfair rap. I think Finding Dory is easily as good as the first Finding Nemo.
Really?
Yeah. Finding
I
Dory
saw it once.
is amazing.
I don't remember really much about it. I remember the octopus being funny. I like that guy.
I think the thing that really fucking struck me though, well, okay, like admittedly, things are gonna get a bit deep here, but it was the Christmas time where my dad died, and that octopus is almost exactly like my dad. And there's even a bit where he says "there's always a way," which was a thing my dad used to say whenever I was trying to figure out a new skill. So yeah, sorry for getting kind of deep there, but like,
oh man,
I think that is why that movie strikes such a chord with me, is because it was exactly the film that I needed at exactly the time I needed it. And now when I watch it today,
understandable.
Now when I watch it today though, I still love it as well. I still cannot see what is wrong with Finding Dory.
But do it. Take this shit no more, man.
Was that?
No, never mind.
No,
never
you
mind.
can. It's fine.
I literally just did it's nothing. I just did a Wings of Redemption shit post. Like, I can't do this shit no more, man.
I can't take this shit no more, man.
It's getting too heavy. Let's do super chats.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful reason to like a movie, though.
Yeah.
I think
like when I saw it, I didn't think it was bad or anything. I guess people were just like, really, you're doing sequels now?
I think Pixar should
that
make
was
a film
whole
about like a baby chimp trying to revive its dead mother for 8 hours.
Doing okay.
Wait, sorry, can you say that again?
No, I'm not gonna say it again. I'm not gonna say it again.
What do they do? Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, or
Yeah, that chest compressions. He's trying for 8 hours.
no? You just the cries of pain. Just trying.
The movie could be called. Imagine having that on a movie poster.
The movie's just he. It's cool.
All right, we got to do super chats. We're getting carried away. I mean, it's good that we're getting carried away, but like,
I'll just say, and also objective binary consensus on Soul. I like Soul a lot. I
Soul's
really like
amazing.
It.
What's
It's
funny
done dirty.
is thematically Soul is very similar to Coco, but
It is, but
it's just like a
different.
different angle of it, and like I don't need it to be completely original. Like again, it's the sincerity, it's the artistry of it, you know.
I feel like Coco's about its core is about death, but Soul's core is about life.
True, yeah, and Coco is a bit
That's
more about
deep.
like the legacy you leave behind, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, I like Soul. I'll leave it at that. I like Soul.
Soul's amazing. Well, we got to mention The Incredibles at least once, right?
It was incredible, yeah.
Yeah. I also think 2's worst crime is it just isn't as good as 1, but 2 is still a damn good movie.
I can't remember if I saw that one or not. I can't think about like what the plot is or anything.
2, it's one of those things where it's like, all this time after the original, you mean to tell me this was the best you could come up with, but at the same time, it's still a really, really good movie by any standard.
Like, I like those characters, so like it's fun to see them again, I guess.
Yeah, and it's got all that sort of like, you know, that style that made the first Incredibles so great. It's just, it's less. It's a smaller movie, it's a smaller story.
I don't think I'll ever be able to like look at it the same way again though, because of the fucking uncanny Mr. Incredible memes. Like I feel like that's all I see when I look at Mr. Incredible now. Like it's like all black and white and like fried.
Man, Pixar is such a good studio. I would love to do like a fully blown Pixar podcast episode.
Maybe if I learn animation one day, I'd love to go there and visit it, but
You
I
could
don't know.
get your ass smacked by John Lasseter.
I mean, so that like that
Probably
secondary
not,
like
but, you know.
superhero podcast, we could just make it like a media podcast, you know, like a general.
I mean, could you
Like movies and
could you
stuff.
squeeze another podcast in your schedule?
I don't do anything.
All right. We could consider this. I want to consider this. I want to keep this open. I like this.
Who would be the other guest?
Oh,
Is it just like-
don't even bother asking that, Tom. It's obviously not you. Go away.
Okay. Fine.
Oh, that's mean.
No. Like, fuck it. Like, I'd be open. I'd be open to having it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
As it is, we are taking our time finding a new guest for this show anyway, because it's just like, you know what? It's just nice getting to know people right now, and I think we got a good thing going on. But like, as it is, like, so I have no idea who any future long-term guests are going to be for Sunset City as the Sonic podcast. But I'm very much open to Pixar animation podcast or just general movies, AMC movie talk with John Campier, you know? For the movie blog, I'm John Campier.
General game talk. I could rant on about games for hours and hours. So yeah.
Well, that's just never going to happen, mate.
No, it's not going to happen. But oh well.
Not while my dickhead ass is in charge. I am the Azuka of this podcast. Sonic only. Right, table order then.
Now, super chats. Okay.
Yes. Dylan, table order, you naturally do go first, so Borker.
all right, so okay. All right, first from Mr. Terry Chaos, £2. Just don't get a black light on those curtains, referring to Pup's new Sonic curtains.
I love the fact that was actually the first topic, and it feels like so long ago. I mean, it's literally a separate VOD right now.
That was like 3 days ago.
We literally reincarnated in that time.
Dude,
Come
you
on.
know what you should do? After this, you should download the 2 parts, string them together, and upload it as one.
I'm going
That
to.
way people can-
as it is, I will upload the podcast version as well is going to go up. But like, yeah, I will do that. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for the £2.
Hell yeah. Burger. It's me. With Sonic Fan 1661 with $2. Just like God, Sonic is inside all of us. You're the most action I've got in a while.
Get him out of there.
Get that out of there, Sonic. Come on, man.
A very important question: where and how?
Oh, you don't want to know, pal.
Different answers for different
He put his quality dick in my ass.
Oh,
Burger.
That would be painful.
Tot,
Yes.
it is your burger.
Okay, Sonic Fan 1661 with another $5. Thank you. That's imagine how much Christian music you could fit on that disc. Yup, totally innocent Christian music. That's in reference to that.
Yeah, the
Peter bit.
pentabit.
the
disc.
big boy disc. Yeah.
Again, that feels like a whole episode ago. Like, when you say innocent
All right.
Christian music, do you mean like Christian Weston Chandler?
I don't think she made music.
I
did
think
she?
Veggie Tales or Gaither's Pond.
No, Christian Weston Chandler or Christine Weston
Okay.
Chandler. They made music back in the days of Christian and the Hedgehog Boys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
yeah, when they did the Backstreet Boys one.
Well, We probably don't need to go too far into that, but that's
Tell me
interesting.
why I never want to hear you say I have a boyfriend. That.
Yeah, that sounds
Mm.
accurate for that time period.
Yes,
All right,
it
so I'm
is.
up next, I think.
Burger. That's you.
The Chan fixation one. then.
Burger. We've got a $7.99 Australian dollars from C-Man. Can't stay from the whole stream, so take these dollary dues. Now I got a game of golf to play and new model trains to unbox. Ooh, character limit achieved.
I love how the Australian guy refers to them as dollary dues, and I think that
Dollary
should be
dues. Yeah.
that should be the official currency of Australia.
Australian dollary dues. I really like that a lot.
Dollary dues, mate.
Ooh.
Good, eh? Burger. Sonic Fan
Every single word.
1661 sends $2. Pup's dementia is getting worse. Sonic Fan 1661 sends $2. Pup's dementia is getting worse. All right, Dylan, you're up with C-Man.
Jeez, it is getting worse.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Tom, up next.
Yeah,
Burger.
okay, right.
Yep.
Burger.
You're up with
Right.
Hippo.
That
That didn't even come up on the microphone.
Okay, let me try again.
I think the
Alright.
microphone is trying to save the stream from what you're doing.
All right, fine. Then you are up
Right.
with
Sonic- Very cool. Okay, Sonic Fan 1661 with another $2. Pup's dementia got so bad it killed the stream.
You know, now that I think about it, Discord's noise reduction might have saved you guys from the Hupo Diporidu, but I get the feeling that the stream probably heard it.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they know that I put a Klonoa next to the thing you needed to read. Anyway, Tom, you're up with Sonic Fan 1661.
Oh, your dementia's getting really bad, I can see,
Shut
yeah.
up. Dylan
All right.
Walker.
Next up, $5 Canadian. Wait, I don't see a name on this one.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Hang
shit.
on.
Oh, shit. It's one from today. Hang on. Wait, as in one from this stream.
Ace Trainer Charlie, I believe.
Ace Trainer Charlie. Yeah, right,
Ace
yeah.
Trainer Charlie with
I didn't
$5
notice that.
Canadian. I wish I could stay longer, but I'll listen to the VOD later. There will be one. Enjoy your time and enjoy the 5 maple syrup loonies. Dollars. Why are we getting 2 new terms for money today?
I wish
that's-
you could
was that
stay longer
coordinated?
too.
Anyway, thank you for that.
Okay, so Burger.
Ooh.
Oh wait, it's me, isn't it?
223
Yes,
Fuck.
it is.
Okay, so
of dementia.
shut up, Mr.
He's bedridden. He's
Dementia is
bedridden
a
at this
really
point.
scary thing. Okay, I don't want this.
I know.
Mr. SP.
It's just a burning memory.
Stop. Mr. SP with $2 23. Fuck. It's getting. You're in my head. You're in my
Yeah,
fucking
read.
head, right? Sunset
Just
City.
like the dementia.
Get out of me head, man.
Get out of my head, man. You're making me angry, man. Sunset City, the Sonic podcast with Pups Internet. Yep. Okay. Yep. Funny.
Yes, it is very funny. It's humorous.
Borker.
Okay, this is the last one, I believe. Mr. SP with US $5. Welcome back, Tom. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed your time far away from this franchise where some fans go out of their way to find things to complain about. Yeah.
So anyway, I
Break.
hate the shape of Sonic's nose. I think it's just a bit too long.
Like a hot dog. It makes me hungry.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I didn't stick around during that. I was around, but I'm not choosing to comment on any.
Oh,
anything.
Tom.
Thanks for that.
That's
I'm not choosing to comment on any
disgusting.
stupid stuff that is happening recently. Can you stop making sound effects for your life, Pup, please?
Sorry, I want to make a new challenge. I want everyone to scour Twitter and see if we can find a complaint about every single aspect of Sonic. Just every single one.
Yeah.
We'll
I don't
start
wanna
with
do
Sonic
that.
1.
I feel like I have better things to do
Stephen.
for my mental health.
You don't have to,
Even
but
that.
just anyone who's available. We start with Sonic 1. I want you to scour the internet and find a complaint about every single pixel of that game. Thank you. Okay,
Oh,
so
you sent people on a minute. You sent people on a minute.
Charles Champ says that should take about 5 minutes.
Super chat cutoff is now.
Yeah, that could literally be any percent speed run. Just try and find every single complaint you can.
Mm.
That's a legitimate. That can be its own streaming
Yeah, you
category on
You
Twitch.
type in Sonic and you're going to see the worst things you've ever seen in the history of seeing things.
Yay, porn. Oh no, it's the skeleton. You know what that means?
The anti-porn skeleton.
The
You didn't even
anti-porn
need to say the
skeleton.
skeleton. The sheer fear in your voice when you said that, when you proclaimed that. Oh dear.
It's funny how I can summon so much fear for a thing where I just pressed a button and activated it.
Yeah, that's why we don't put you in office.
Oh, by the way, Dylan. You know how I made scarecrows for whenever someone's absent from the show?
Yeah.
I gave them special names. Mine is Scarepup, and this is back when we had Cirrus and Gilly on the show. We had Scarus and Scaregil, and yours is called Scareless64.
That was my Twitter name, I think, one Halloween. Scareless.
Oh, I was hoping you'd be impressed with it. Oh, no. Oh.
No, it's still good. I still like it.
No.
Be better next time, though.
Alright, well, the episode is over. So, Tom, why don't you tell us what you're getting up to these days?
I'm focusing on my art stuff really. I post some things occasionally on Twitter. I haven't gone on YouTube in like over a year at this point, and if I feel like making something that I think is actually worth people's time, then I'll make something. Like I don't want to just crank out stuff for the sake of it. I want it to be actually. If I am gonna make something, it's got to be something I care about and I actually want to be good.
Yeah, but your idea of good is like fucking 12 out of 10 because like I remember you being like, "Oh, my editing is not good enough. I need to get better at it." And then you fucking sent me those parts of the collab and I was like, "Well, there's no way I can do editing as good as this for my bits." Fuck you. You're upstaging me.
I'm sorry, I just set a high bar for myself. I'm not satisfied with being just mediocre. I want to be good at stuff.
You're not satisfied with being fucking excellent, is the reality with you.
I'm sorry that I have a high standard.
Yeah, you don't have a high standard. You have a fucking standard that is in several fucking dimensions away from this universe.
Well, sorry. Although I will say that it is reassuring, I guess, seeing that some people did say that they missed me on that recent video that you had. I saw someone say that they did miss me, which, I don't know, it made me feel a bit good.
You always underestimate yourself, Tom, man. Like, fucking people like you on this internet here, and they like your videos, and they like your editing, and they like your art.
Hmm.
You're still a piece of shit, though, and I hate you.
I thought we would... hang on a second, I thought we were over this.
Right, no, sorry, my bad. Yep, sorry. Yep.
The relapse.
Peace time. It's a temporary thing. The Lazarus
It's the dementia talking.
It's the... Shut up. It's the Lazarus
The Lazarus pit gave you dementia.
Yeah, no, it didn't give me dementia! Just made me sad.
Oh shit, Pup's dementia is gonna be like a running joke now.
This is horrible. This is a horrible joke to run with. This is
Oh,
horrible.
I'm gonna keep thinking about it
I
now.
wonder what it feels like, Pup. I really wonder. Oh, dear.
Look, man. I've seen people who have dementia and stuff. It's a terrifying thing.
I know, it's awful.
I think when I put the VOD for this up and stitch the episodes together, I'm gonna put a fucking dementia fundraiser on this or something. I feel like I kind of have to after the amount of time it's been mentioned.
I'd say we maybe said dementia like 7 times.
It doesn't matter. 7 is still a lot, okay? Like,
I mean, it's not more than 8.
it's a lot considering this is a Sonic podcast.
Dementia.
All right. Anyways, okay. Thank you, Tom. Just yeah, Dylan. What are you?
Okay, thank you.
Do you have anything more to say, Tom?
I don't think so, no. That was just about it.
Okay, Dylan. What are you promoting? What are you up to?
I released a video about Roland Rascal, that game I talked about earlier in the PowerPoint. I released that video today. If you want to see me talk about that in a little bit more detail, it is not a very long video, but I'm kind of trying out this new sort of format where I say what I need to and then I just stop because I don't want to make long ass videos.
So
even
the
though
video has an ending.
Yeah, it's like it's a pretty short video. I think it's only like 6 minutes, but like it's
Okay.
it's my first time doing a video in like maybe a year-ish. I don't count the Sonic hacking contest trailer because that was like that was just like a fun side thing. But I'm also working on a Chibi Robo full series video, which will probably be longer. But I'm gonna try to not do it super long because I like watching long videos. I don't think I have the energy to make them, But
Yeah.
we'll see. Been having
Naturally,
fun.
the algorithm is going to massacre this because it's not Sonic. You had the audacity to make a non-Sonic video. So everyone watching, I implore you to check out this video about the Roland Rock.
Oh, I
Roland
don't think
Rascal.
Yeah.
I don't think you put the link in chat. Can you do that again, please? I
Shut
don't think
up.
you put the link in chat.
Just look at just go jump on that link. Of course, when the show's over or before the show's over, there's definitely more important things than this show. But yeah, check it out. It's Sonic adjacent. If you like Sonic, you'll be interested. All right, just
Yeah.
get that little one-track mind of yours onto it.
Pup, what are you doing?
Let's see. Wait, we haven't had Tom yet. Tom, what are you up to?
Your dementia.
I'm
Oh
doing
my
this deliberately now. Me, I've just recently released a video collaborating with Tom Topics, featuring cameos from Dylan himself, on what we hope to see in Sonic Movie 3. So, I suggest you check that out. It has 2 conflicting editing styles. One is much better than the other. And because I was so afraid of the copyright bots, I put a VHS filter over it, which is like having a cheese grater in your eyes. So, I'm not selling this, am I? Well, either way, enjoy it. And I will do something else eventually. I don't know. I mean, right now I've just been replaying the Arkham games, but I don't know if that's going to lead to anything. What do you think, Webster? But, yeah. Meh. Shut up, Sonic Fan 1661. I did ask Dylan what he's up to. I do remember. I don't have dementia, so fuck you.
We haven't even started the stream yet. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, let me hit that go live. But wait a minute. All right, episode over. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Say your goodbyes.
Bye.
Support human artists and goodbye.